Monday.
Glory.
I step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
A very good morning indeed, you beautiful early risers. This is your feel-good breakfast show. It is a Monday morning, the start of a brand new day, the start of a brand new week. My name is Katle Hamaboy, and always it's so good to be in your company. How are you doing, Ryle?
So good, man. It's a Monday morning. I feel the magic already. My name's Ryle. The morning, of course. So excited to take you through one magic edition as we kickstart this Monday morning.
Absolutely. Of course, lockdown has come and is still here. We're sitting on day 116. Can you believe it? And we've been confined to our homes during this period. That places a big focus on relationships in the home. Now, lockdown could either be a good or a bad thing for relationships, giving it time to work on some, at home, while others may realize that certain relationships just don't work. So stay tuned as we connect with therapist Aisha Dula, to discuss relationships during lockdown. And relationships would have been tested, especially if you are a sporting fan, perhaps a football fan this past weekend.
Here we go again.
If there's perhaps opposing fandom within the household that you find yourself in, man, the north side of London was looking so good. This past weekend. But how did you find it, Ryle? You tell me what
it was a good weekend. Look, I must admit, you guys did deserve it. Great counter, especially against such a big team. But I'm sure I'll hear some more of it during the show. So
it actually it reminds me of a lyric that says, "One day when the glory comes, it'll be ours. It'll be ours." No, I kid. It's actually an inspiration that I take from, of course, our performer, Jared Ricketts. He'll be joining us with Roderick McKay on the keys. And there he is. Wow, that burst of energy on your screen right now. If you weren't awake yet, you are now. And he'll be performing some songs for our hashtag Gospel Monday sessions to inspire you and motivate you to start the brand new week on quite the fine note. If you heard the sound check, right? It was quite impressive.
Oh, good. I cannot wait, Kat. It's going to be a banger.
Well, let's start the day off and say hello to the rest of the team. Morning, guys.
Oh, hey. Rise and shine, South Africa. Welcome to it. Yes, it is your feel-good breakfast show. My name is Thabiso Makubela, otherwise your favorite Uncle Tabsy. And I'm not alone on this side of the building. I'm here with...
Kushe Adams, everybody.
Welcome back. And the crowd cheers. Just Graham cheering and screaming in the corner there. Your number one fan. But hey, good morning. Welcome back. It's so good to have you back.
Thank you. It is so great to be back and to start off a morning with you guys in studio, because I'm always at home just watching online and commenting on every single thing that you've been doing. But the energy is still the same. You guys are pretty awesome. And I'm so happy to be starting the day and the week with you.
Brand new hairstyle.
Of course, darling. New hair. Who this? Who this?
Oh, man. But we're chatting relationships, and hopefully this haircut's going to definitely land you in a relationship.
Or perhaps an entanglement like Jada Pickett Smith and Augusta Alsina. Have you seen that drama?
We've spoken all about it.
We've spoken all about it.
We've been on it. We have been on it. But it is all about relationships, right? It's about how our relationships have grown during this time of lockdown. So we're chatting all things relationships on this beautiful Relationship Monday, if you will. How have your relationships, whether it's romantic relationships, family relationships, friendships, relationships with people at work, when you've been finding yourself working remotely, how have they grown and improved for the better? Wow.
Absolutely. Please let us know on all of our social media platforms using that also important hashtag Expresso Show. I haven't said this in a minute, but let's get the ball rolling with those news headlines.
It's 4 minutes past 6. Here's a look at the news headlines on this Monday morning. On the national news front, Health Minister Dr. Zweli Mkhize has made an urgent appeal to South Africans to take the coronavirus seriously as the number of infections continues to rise in the country. Mkhize said government has done all it could to slow the spread, but can't win the battle alone. He's extremely concerned that South Africans are letting down their guard at a time when the spread of the infection is surging. As of yesterday, the cumulative number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in South Africa is 364,328, and the number of deaths at 5,033. Gauteng Education MEC Panyaza Lesufi says schools in the province would remain open as per national government's instructions, but they would take the necessary precautions to protect pupils and teachers from contracting COVID-19. The MEC was speaking at a media briefing by the Provincial Command Council on its response to the COVID-19 pandemic. The reopening of schools has been a controversial point of discussion amid the coronavirus pandemic, with teacher unions calling that they be closed. Taking a look at the international news front this morning, the United Arab Emirates will launch its first mission to Mars today as it strives to develop its scientific and technology capabilities and move away from its reliance on oil. The Hope probe will launch from Japan's Tanegashima Space Center for a 7-month mission to the Red Planet, where it will orbit and send back data on the atmosphere. It'll aim to provide a complete picture of the Martian atmosphere for the first time, studying daily and seasonal changes. Now, there are currently 8 active missions exploring Mars. In other news, authorities in Nigeria's northwestern Zamfara state have offered 2 cows for each gun surrendered to halt bloody attacks by criminal gangs, including cattle rustlers. Zamfara Governor Bello Matawale said under the new initiative, for every rifle submitted by a repentant bandit, there would be a compensation of 2 cows. Military operations have failed to end the killings, and local officials have tried repeated negotiations to broker peace. And now, great news for all lovers of rugby. One of South Africa's favourite sons, Springbok rugby captain Siya Kolisi, this weekend received a double honour. During the 18th Nelson Mandela annual lecture on Saturday, UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres announced the designation of Kolisi as a global advocate for Spotlight Initiative, the global partnership between the European Union and the United Nations to eliminate all forms of violence against women and girls by 2030. As a UN global advocate, Kolisi will lend his name, time, influence and support toward ending violence against women and girls around the world. Another huge accolade for him came as the prestigious Rugby World magazine released what they call, quote, the ultimate list of rugby movers and shakers. Every 2 years, the magazine puts together a list of the sport's 50 most influential people with input from experts from all over the world. Rugby World also noted that Kolisi has been working tirelessly with his foundation to help those affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Kolisi is undoubtedly the most influential man in rugby at the moment. And finally, taking a quick glimpse into the world of entertainment, the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic has halted many large weddings that were supposed to take place this year, motivating couples to still promise their lives to each other in more intimate and scaled-back ways. Princess Beatrice of the British royal family followed suit by marrying her fiancé, property tycoon Eduardo Mapelli Mozzi, in a surprise secret ceremony in Windsor, England, this past Friday. Now, the couple postponed the original event that was supposed to take place on the 29th of May due to the coronavirus pandemic. The small affair was attended by Queen Elizabeth, Prince Philip and close family, and took place in accordance with all government safety guidelines. Beatrice wore a stunning vintage dress by Norman Hartnell, which bears striking resemblances to the gown that her mother Sarah Ferguson wore when she married Prince Andrew in July of 1986. Well, that's it for the news at 6 o'clock. We'll have another report for you at 7 right now. Here's a first look at the weekend's sporting action.
Very good morning from my side. My name is Graham Richards. Welcome as we delve into a bumper weekend of sport. Of course, a quick tip of our hats to Siya Kolisi on his recent accolades, and that's a good place to start in the world of rugby. But in New Zealand and Australia, Super Rugby tournaments, of course, continuing this weekend with nail-biting action. The Highlanders coming from behind to beat hosts Chiefs 33-31 at the Waikato Stadium. And in the other Aotearoa match, the Barrett brothers went head-to-head as the Hurricanes, they edged out the Blues 29-27. Then in the Australian domestic competition, the Reds powered back to beat the Western Force 31-24, and the Brumbies clinched a 23-24 win over the Waratahs. Then on to football. Defending FA Cup champions Manchester City were knocked out of the competition. That was after suffering a 2-0 loss to Arsenal at the Wembley Stadium on Saturday. And it was a brace by star striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang that fired the Gunners into a record 21st FA Cup final. So the Gunners will face face Chelsea in the final showdown. That was after the team beat Manchester United 3-1 in the other semi-final. That final will take place at Wembley Stadium on Saturday, the 1st of August. And of course, it's going down to the wire in the Premier League. Tottenham Hotspur, they kept their Europa League hopes alive after a 3-0 win over Leicester City in the English Premier League last night. Striker Harry Kane now back to his best, scoring 2 goals on the night to secure the win for Jose Mourinho's side. Leicester, on the other hand, suffering a huge blow to their hopes of playing in the Champions League as the Premier League heads into its final week. They're now going to have to beat Manchester United to earn that spot. Then on to Formula One. It continued yesterday with reigning champion Lewis Hamilton claiming his 8th Hungarian Grand Prix ahead of Red Bull's Max Verstappen and Mercedes teammate Valtteri Bottas. So Hamilton controlled the race from start to finish and moved into the World Championship lead for the first time this season. Verstappen, though, he claimed an extraordinary 2nd place after crashing on his way to the grid, but still managed a podium finish to walk away as driver of the day. Then on to 2 wheels. Petronas Yamaha's Fabio Quartararo won the first Motogp race of the 2020 restart after starting on a pole position, while defending champion Marc Marquez crashed out. And South African Brad Binder finished in a very credible 13th overall at the Spanish Grand Prix, I think impressing a lot of people on his way there. It was a Yamaha 1-2 with Maverick Vinales finishing in 2nd place ahead of Ducati's Andrea Dovizioso. 8-time world champion Marc Marquez, he suffered a broken arm after a pretty heavy crash and will be going in for surgery later this week. Do you want to stick around? We'll be getting a little deeper into all of our football action and, of course, a fantastic weekend for the London clubs a little bit later on the show, so you can let us know on all of our social media platforms who are you supporting this weekend. But right now, let's get into the weather.
Rise and shine, Mzansi Ndiyathemba, that you woke up feeling so good. The start of a brand new day and the start of a brand new week. At this time, nature is truly at its best, with golden sun rays just giving bright color and setting the mood for the rest of the day. But this morning, we are taking it back to Sunday evening. Port Elizabeth-born photographer Ulwando Mquthu shared the sunset image with such rich and brilliant deep orange colors captured in Blouberg Beach, Cape Town. Cape Town, your temperatures for the day starts at 12 degrees and will reach an afternoon temperature of 24 degrees. Joan Cameron takes us to Britannia Bay in the West Coast with a subtle sunrise image. Britannia Bay will reach a maximum of 22 degrees today. Please note that the South African Weather Service has warned of high fire danger conditions that are expected over the West Coast. If you are in those regions, please be careful and extra vigilant. But thank you so much to Orlando and Joan for your stunning pictures. I trust that you will have a great morning further. Now, as monsoon floods and landslides ravage South Asia with huge loss of lives, more than 1 million people have been marooned in Nepal, Bangladesh and India as overflowing rivers wreak havoc. Sad news is also that more than 200 wild animals, including at least 8 rare rhinos, have died in recent flooding at a national park in northeastern India. Kaziranga Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is home to at least 2,400 one-horned rhinos, the world's largest population of these animals, which experts say face extinction at the turn of the century. With almost 85% of the park underwater, dozens of other animals, including deer, buffalo and porcupines, have perished, many due to drowning, although others were hit by vehicles as they attempted to escape the flood waters. Rain is forecast for the rest of the week. But now let's get into the forecast for the rest of our country, starting off at Polokwane at a low of 2 degrees, reaching a high of 20. Mbombela 524. Pretoria, it's a partly cloudy day at a low of 2 degrees, reaching a high of 23. Over into Johannesburg, we are expecting a maximum of 21 degrees, but starting off at 0. Mahikeng 223. Klerksdorp starts at 0, reaching a high of 23. And Kimberley, it's a sunny day at a maximum of 22, but starts off at 2 degrees today. Bloemfontein starts the morning off on a chilly note at -5 degrees, reaching a high of 22. Richards Bay 1025. Pietermaritzburg will be quite warm with this afternoon at a maximum of 26 degrees and a low of 8 degrees. Durban remains cool at a low of 10 today, reaching a high of 25. Warm and pleasant temperatures in the Eastern Cape, Pasikale Mthatha at a low of 4 degrees, reaching a high of 26. East London 824, Cradock 025, and Port Elizabeth, the friendly city, my beautiful hometown, 621 are your temperatures for the day. Some partly cloudy conditions in George at a low of 9 degrees, reaching a high of 19. And Cape Town, 12-24. Worcester, it's a sunny day at a maximum of 24, but starts off at 10. Sutherland at a low of 0, reaching a high of 20. And Uppington, you start off the day at 3 degrees, reaching a maximum temperature of 26. Now remember, whichever part of the country you're in, whatever the weather, please make sure to have yourselves a feel-good kind of day.
Good morning to you, South Africa. My name is Jamie Donberg, reporting live for duty. You heard winter is here, but I think a lot of people, you know, they get scared for winter, but really winter is a fabulous season, you know, to channel our fashionable side and explore new trends and styles so we can look cute, chic, and also comfortable, okay? Now, our fashion and beauty editor, Knox Mafu, joined you to discuss my outfit and give me some pointers on how to take it to the next level. Good morning, Knox.
Good morning, Jamie. Looking absolutely incredible this
morning. When I woke up this morning, I was like, okay, I feel like cute, cute.
You know?
And then they were like, you know, well, Knox Mafu's here and she's gonna
take it to the next level.
Before we go to the elevation,
yes,
take me through what I'm actually wearing today.
Yeah, so I think, like, Jamie, you've killed it with the trends today. I think here we're seeing the use of the faux leather, which is all the trend. Obviously, we want to do fashion sustainably, so I love the way that it comes in at the high waist there. And you've paired it beautifully, obviously, with a polo neck, which is obviously a favorite this winter. And you know, the color you say that you've used is incredible, and obviously your head wrap just bringing out the yellow in there. But of course, you know, we've got the different textures that are here. We've got the faux leather, but I think we could do a little something more to keep you warm, obviously, and add a little bit of a chic element to this outfit. So
am I ready? Because I feel like I'm not even ready.
You're not even ready. So what I'm going to ask you to do is just turn around and go get that little bad boy over here. That's for you to try on.
Let me go.
Give it a go. And what I love about this coat, right, it really just adds an element of warmth. Obviously, it feels like a hug in a piece of clothing, to be honest.
Can I just have a moment? Is this how my Monday's starting, everybody?
Exactly. I mean, it's lush. It feels warm. Look at how it just complements the different textures in your outfit. I mean, immediately I can see you transform.
I feel like Miranda Presley on The Devil Wears Prada. Like, can I just say good morning, everybody? Where's my tea? Like, can someone get me? This is gorgeous.
Yeah, so I think immediately that immediate confidence is so important. You look chic. You can take this from any outfit. You can wear this inside, outside, but really I think it completes the look in a way that's very comfortable and I mean, you feel good in it.
Yes, I love the material. Now tell me something, if someone wanted to style this but didn't want to, you know, have all the extra colors or do a head wrap or anything, how would they then be able to style, you know, this coat?
So the coat is very versatile, and this is what I love about it. A knit dress would also look incredible in this. You could wear this with a beautiful dress with stockings paired with a beautiful boot, or even if you want to keep it casual, you wear it with your denim, with a good sneaker, and then you also pair that either with a shirt or even just something that is a crew neck on top of that. So the layering there is really an easy thing to do with something as versatile and just classic as this coat.
Knox, I am not going to tell anyone, but I kind of feel like I'm your favorite because you came through today. I am not taking this off. I am just going to be like, good morning, everybody. Like,
good morning. This is a great way to start Monday. I think the confidence is amazing, and also just it's warm, it's functional, and really just a good staple for this winter.
Thank you so much. You guys heard it. All you need is the chic and very comfortable coat to get you through the cold winter days and to get you through this Monday. But you can, of course, shop this coat and much more at Woolworths in-store, online, or on the Woolworths app. But don't go anywhere, because when we return, it's Gospel Mondays with Jared Ricketts, everybody.
What's better than a sugar-coated, deliciously crispy golden brown donut and 100% Arabica beans brewed to perfection? Treat yourself and warm up your morning with a little sweetness from McCafe with the all-new mini donut and cappuccino offer. A little lovin' doesn't have to cost a lot. Great coffee, simple.
One day, when the war is done, we'll be sure, oh, glory. Oh,
Welcome back. It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's a Monday morning and we are feeling so good. And I hope that you are too at the start of a brand new day, brand new week.
Feeling the energy, Kat.
There's an energy in the air, isn't it?
Yeah, man. It's Monday morning. You know what it is.
Of course, this past Saturday was Nelson Mandela International Day. And we were so moved by all of the amazing ways in which people are contributing their 67 minutes to pay tribute to the 67 years of his life that Nelson Mandela spent campaigning and championing the human rights of all South African citizens out there.
Yeah, definitely, indeed. Now, that's why we're starting the following words from the former statesman who would have felt honored that such a day brings together in his name and, of course, in his memory. And now, this is what he had to say. He says, there can be no greater gift than that of giving one's time and energy to help others without expecting anything in return. And I think that just stands to the energy that we're coming into this week with, where a lot of us sacrificed some time and got to really feel what it's like to give without expecting. And that 67 minutes, which I think has really shown in this week and is coming through. And I think a lot of us are carrying that. I think it's just an elation, just to be able to see the fact that you can do so much and you don't need anything in return, and how much that can actually go. It's just incredible. So yeah.
Yeah, I've got to give a special shout out to two organizations. One, the Pad Run, and the other called Girls Leading Change, that I was personally involved with this past weekend. And they went out into communities to go and give much needed packages, care packages to people in communities that really need them most. And just to kind of see, you know, there's a bit of a... There's two sides to it. You know, on the one side, you see the great need that there is, and on the other hand, you're almost kind of semi-relieved that you are trying to help chip away at that massive mountain, which is, I guess, why we encourage people to make every day a Mandela Day. Yes, Saturday was great, but now the need to continue on that same trend to make every single day a Mandela Day so that we can make a difference in people's lives. That call still echoes every single day. But right now, it's time for us to enjoy some music to inspire you on this Monday morning.
Oh, yes, indeed. It is all about being inspired on the start of a brand new week here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. I'm sure by now you know what the flow is like. It's all about music. It's all about getting spirited and getting those spirits lifted and vibrating at a higher frequency. And, of course, doing that for us every single Monday on our hashtag Gospel Mondays on Expresso is Roderick McKay on the keys. But, of course, on the vocals, Jarrett Ricketts. This time around, getting us started on this beautiful Monday with John Legend's Glory. Take it away, guys.
One day, when the glory comes, it'll be ours, it'll be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we'll be sure, we'll be sure. Oh, glory. we sing glory.
Come on, yeah. Wow, Jared Ricketts, of course, alongside Jared McKay here on your Roderick McKay rather, on your Feel Good Breakfast show. John Legend's Glory. What a way to get this started. Beautiful, beautiful performance, guys. Thank you so much for that. But of course, this was out of 3 options of songs that were given to you at home to choose from. Do you want to take the people through what options they actually had to choose from, Jared?
Actually, we've been doing this for weeks, so we run through so many songs. But I know that we've had Glory.
Yeah, which
we
you
had
just
Because of Who
now.
You Are.
Yeah.
And You Don't Have to Worry, and
Yeah.
it was quite tight for 2 of them.
Yes, I know that Glory and Because of Who You Are, we're both sitting at 38.1%, so a draw, really.
Check
there,
that out.
if you think about that. And of course, You Don't Have to Worry at 23.8%. But of course, the people have spoken, and those performances, those songs will happen. You will be doing them.
Yeah.
You will be doing them here on the show. But Mandela Day yesterday, or the day before, on Saturday, I know that you had an incredible event going on virtually. You had such an incredible performance. It was a sanitary drive. Tell us more about that.
Sure. So I am the ambassador for Leap Science and Math Schools, and we collaborated with a few sponsors, and we did a Mandela Day virtual concert, the first of its kind for them. It was very cool because we got to bring about some new talent onto the stage and some iconic people I spoke about in the interview.
Yes.
We had Vicky Sampson, we had Megan Danner, we had Chevy, the rapper. She's been on Expresso a few times to perform. And Mimi Norm's a new talent that we discovered. And what a great way to celebrate Nelson Mandela's birthday. You know, he was at the forefront of positive change. On a global scale, he contributed enormously to the fight against poverty and injustice. And so what a way for us as the new generation to pay homage, to pay tribute. Roderick was there. He musically directed the whole thing.
Oh, Roddy! Come on.
And that's what it's about. It's about, you know, opening up the doorway, new talent, new people. Let's not stop Mandela's work. Let's continue in the music sphere by extending a hand and bringing
lifting people up. Absolutely, I love that. But the most incredible thing has to be seeing people, even though it's all virtual and people can't physically be there, people joining those websites, joining those Facebook Lives, because that is in its own right, in its own way, a way to be active and to take part in this process. But of course, every week we do give you options of songs that you'd like to hear Jared and Roderick perform here on the show, and you do cast your votes. So don't stop. Hashtag Gospel Mondays here on your Feel Good Breakfast show.
Only you can make my day. It's my Feel Good Breakfast show.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Welcome back, you gorgeous people. It is a start to a brand new week, a start to a brand new day, but you also heard the jingle, which means it's time to celebrate you at home.
Absolutely, man. We don't have any cake, but what we do have is this hot soup.
Yes, Mama. Cheers. Bluetooth shampopo for the morning.
Shampopo for the morning. This is us celebrating your birthday right now. Oh, it's going to burn my tongue.
Girl, you go for it. everybody.
It's delicious though, I have to say. As Jamie said, it is that time where we wish you, our loved and loyal viewers, a very happy birthday. And today they share it with someone really special. Does this sound familiar? Bozonke, Bosnonke, Agana Mali, Unehaba, Kwamashun. Okay, Jamie, but it's South Africa's finest who turns 33 years old today. Richard Makada, known as Ricky Rick, is a South African rap. Oh,
Couldn't
wow.
we start off like...
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
now I
Rings a bell. Ricky Rick, he's a songwriter and founder of Cotton Club Records. He's known for his style, and he's probably the only person who's able to pull a look straight out of the runway and make it look good. Truly the king of Umswengo. Happy birthday to you, Udlukotini. He doesn't eat birthday cakes.
He does not?
I hate that you don't get the references. Oh my gosh, Jamie, don't.
I can hear a cat at the back. He's going to drag me after this, but it's fine. You know what? I'm going to get through your birthdays at home. Now, this one reads, we wish Zainab a happy birthday. May you be blessed with many more, as always. Lots of love from the Belhar Medical Center staff. They love you so much. Happy birthday, Zainab. And the next one, to Dathan. It has been a blissful and quite an amazing journey to see you grow. Seeing you smile and be vibrant every time I come home exceeds the words. I am so content. Happy 4th birthday, Dathan. Bokano Mohotlane. I love you and cannot wait to see you from your mother, Itu Mohotlane.
Beautiful. Vihar is celebrating a 9th birthday. Happy birthday to Vihar Ramanand. May you be blessed with all the joys of love and happiness. Please do remain as sweet and loving as you are. Best wishes and love from your mom and your dad and your brothers. Happy birthday to you. Reagan is celebrating a 7th lockdown birthday. Happy 7th lockdown birthday to our very own special baby girl, Reagan. We are so proud of the young lady you are becoming. May God continue to bless and keep you. Your mommy and daddy love you always. From Simone Bueta. Happy birthday to you.
It looks like a little Instagram filter with this little
with the flower crown.
So
I love it.
cute.
Such a cutie.
And then the next one goes to Kim. Happy birthday to a special young lady. May you have a fantastic birthday. This comes from Aunt Elaine, Uncle Jerome, and the rest of the family. And then this is a double one. I wish my mom, Mina Degama, and husband, Mornay Punasaib, a very, very happy birthday on the special day. I wish more joy and happiness because you deserve it. And this comes from all your loving family.
That's pretty cool. Do they share a cake? Like, do you save some coins there because they're celebrating on the same day?
Buy one, get one free.
How does it work? Last but not least, Uqabi so celebrating his birthday. Happy birthday to you, Uqabi. Best things are yet to come this year. Celebrate being special on every day. Happy birthday from Amajida, from the boys. Happy birthday to you all. Now, if you would like to send your loved one a birthday message, do so by sending us your birthday videos to 071-640-6551 or email your wishes to birthdays@cardova.tv. But from the Expresso family to you, happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday to all of you. Hope you're feeling very special. Hopefully someone loves you enough to whip you up a delicious meal. And we've got inspiration right now. I know we are now getting to the point in lockdown where we need to be a bit creative. We've all been pushing ourselves, our boundaries, just a little bit. And I think Mondays can be especially tough during lockdown. Temperamental load shedding thrown into the mix now as well. All these halloumi cheese tikka skewers are your solution. This is going to inspire you a little bit today. This recipe perfect for over the braai or gas, packs a flavor punch and a great way to pass the time when the power goes out. You can even do it very slowly over a candle if you have to. It's easy enough for the whole family to help out as well, and they are delicious enough that you'll be arguing over who gets the last piece. I love halloumi and I like the bright colors that we're introducing here. This says to me that it's nutritious as well. Nicole, very good morning.
Good morning.
I hope you had a wonderful weekend.
Yeah, but I definitely did. It was an exciting weekend at least, but...
And it's inspired you to start our week with a lot of
Exactly.
colour.
Like we don't have enough challenges in South Africa right now.
I know, but it's making us stronger, man. It's making us stronger. You have to believe it. So Be Well have swept in, of course, so many cancer fighters in what we are throwing together here. But you start with the eye first, and with a skewer like this, you want it to really kind of shine and pop.
Yeah.
And with halloumi, you need kind of flavors to balance, because halloumi is a great sounding board board for other flavors, I find.
So halloumi cheese is like quite a hard cheese, you can see here, but it melts beautifully and it's so nice for braaiing. It holds its shape. So that's why you always go for like a halloumi. You can use a hard paneer cheese as well. For this, it will work well. We're actually going to make a tikka sauce. So with this one, you're going to add a little bit of garlic, grated ginger, add some yogurt. So that's going to be like your base of your marinade, like your bulking agent in here. So then we've got a little bit of roasted masala.
Okay.
And you know what's nice about this tikka paste here? You can add a little bit of coconut milk and make it into a curry as well. So if you don't want to do the skewers, you can put a potjie on the braai.
This is a great baseline for a tikka curry. Cool.
Yeah. So we've got a little bit of cumin going in, a little bit of turmeric, and a little bit of coriander. So this is like all your bases of a beautiful curry sauce. Heat of the chili, don't want to leave that out. A little bit of freshness of the coriander. So that is all going to go into your marinade along with some oil. So we're going to use the canola oil today from Be Well, just about a tablespoon. That's adding your fat to your marinade.
Cool.
Then we're going to add some lemon. I feel like you can't do any skewers these days without that freshness of that lemon zest and juice. Like, I absolutely love it.
And of course, you're going to have the eventual sweetness of the peppers here, which I think once you grill a pepper, you get that kind of char on the skin. Suddenly the flesh goes so sweet. So you want those balance of flavors. Just seeing you with that dried coriander powder, you're going to laugh at me because I've started a process of desensitizing myself to coriander. So every day, I inherited a whole range of beautiful curry spices from my mom. So now every day when I'm in the kitchen preparing, I just have a little dab of coriander just to try and get myself across the line. So
but you see, I think your problem is not with the dried coriander.
Yeah,
it's definitely
it's the fresh coriander.
The fresh coriander.
We'll get there. Baby steps, man. Baby steps.
It is baby steps. I'm very proud of you for trying. You know, a lot of people just wouldn't even try.
I feel like I'm just losing out on so much.
You really are. Like
but I know I'm not alone.
Cuisine,
you know, coriander
Indian.
haters unite. So when you say a marinade, you really are marinating. It's not just like a based over sauce. You really are marinating the
100%.
Oh, halloumi.
So ideally, you would like to leave this overnight because it will absorb so much of that flavor. But if you don't have overnight, an hour will do perfectly fine. Like, it will be okay.
It needs a bit of time to get that flavor.
Yeah, you want to. Cool. If you have the time, great. You know, like, I feel like if you do have some extra time for cooking, is always beneficial. But if you don't, it's fine. So we're going to add a little bit of our red onion here. You're going to skewer an halloumi. We've got some dried apricots. I mean, you don't have to add it if you don't want to.
It's quite nice and sweet as well, yeah.
Yeah, I just find it goes so well with that tikka spice, you know, just that kind of neutralizes it. So then you're going to have your braai going already before this is all, you know, done. You can at least skewer them before the time and then leave them in the fridge until you're ready. So there's no rush with making this, which is awesome.
And I'm learning more and more now through my exercises with you and Clem. The food prep, I mean, it helps obviously once you're cooking to smooth things over, but the amount of flavor that goes in your pre-prep, especially with meats as well, it's so important to get the flavors in there, give them time to kind of mature and absorb. So this beautiful recipe is available on expressoshow.com along with all of our culinary inspiration as we let our kitchen fill with these beautiful aromas. Hopefully that's inspired you just a little bit, and when the food is this good, load shedding seems to be far less loathsome. So from incredible recipes to incredible prizes as well, Be Well are giving you the chance to win big. Up for grabs, an entire year's long worth of supply of canola oil that'll get you far. To enter, simply respond to the competition, post on the Expresso Facebook page or our Twitter page, easy to find. Tell us what made you hashtag switch to canola, and don't forget to hashtag switch to canola. While you do that, we'll be announcing a new winner weekly for the next 4 weeks. This competition closes this week on Wednesday the 22nd of July at midnight, but you can find all of the terms and conditions along with the recipe on expressoshow.com. Oh, yeah. It smells amazing.
Imagine a whole year's worth of canola oil.
Be Well. Love, food, life.
Wherever you may be, all Expresso prizes are delivered to you by Globe Flight, delivering smiles since 1998, 24/7, 365.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
So it seems that the world has become, I think, more united than ever through the shared COVID experience, and our global village is about to get even smaller as we connect with two gentlemen who have both proudly represented their respective nations at the highest level of rugby and enjoyed a very successful time at Saracens in the UK, where I'm sure the seed would have been planted for their already successful business partnership. Please welcome former Welsh international Dominic Day and English international George Craze. Gentlemen, a very good morning. How are you doing?
Very good, thank you. Thanks for having us on.
It really is great to be able to connect with you. But gents, I'm gonna start with the hardline stuff first, because we've got a lot of young rugby players watching right now. I'm going to start with the important stuff. George, please, if you can explain to us how to execute an effective grubber kick. I think we've got a lot of young viewers who would like to know about that.
Look, that is not my speciality. I've been banned from kicking, so I even got told that if I did it again, I'd have my left foot chopped off.
And that comes.
Which my answer was, I do have a right foot, but.
Oh, yeah, buddy, I'm sorry. Of course, what I really want to talk about is the Rugby World Cup final. I know that's in very bad taste. Is it too soon? Are we allowed to talk about the final?
Nah, crack on. Look, I guess from our side, it was pretty obviously heartbreaking not to win the thing, but like I think the benefit you guys have had as a country. Sure. Obviously, you guys played unbelievably well. Nice, simple game plan, and really stuck to it. And that's what kind of finals rugby is all about. So yeah, massive credit to the South Africans. Obviously, I know a fair few of them as well. So. Yeah, it's interesting training with Vincent Kopp when he comes back straight away. But look, it's something that was an unbelievable experience, especially the whole Japan experience. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, yeah, like I said, fair play to you boys.
And likewise to you, your team was absolutely amazing. I think there were many South Africans that thought at the beginning of that final that it was going to be near impossible to beat you. So congratulations on an unbelievable tourney. And on the Wales side as well, an absolutely brilliant tournament. But of course, you guys have been walking a dual path. You've both now made a foray, and what seems like a very successful foray into the world of business, and you've done it together. What prompted this partnership? Yeah, visions of you guys kind of mucking down in the second row, having a bit of chat there during training. How did the idea come about, and what prompted you to actually take this step, start the company and move forward?
No, yeah, you're right. George and I were sworn enemies until we started playing together. We still hated each other. No, listen, so George and I, we sort of started our business lives together pretty much as soon as I signed for Saracens, and our relationship just grew stronger and stronger, and then we moved into the CBD world, and it's been a massive learning curve, I guess, because it's gone from strength to strength, and it's all based around our own experiences and the benefits that we've had with the products, and we're just delighted that we are in the position we are now. And for me, I retired 6 months ago, and I've been able to sort of transition straight into a business. And it's always in the back of rugby, any sportsman mind, I guess, retiring and what you can do afterwards. And for me, it's been I feel like absolutely blessed and more than lucky to be able to go straight into our own business.
I got to ask, who's the better salesman out of the two of you?
It's just definitely this Welsh chap definitely sells more. When they can understand him. We play a lot of bad cop.
and of course, you got a slight height advantage when it comes to intimidating to close the deal. Absolutely brilliant to see how successful you can be. We've got to know a lot of our own professional sportsmen making that transition through the media here, and I love to hear these kind of success stories. I'm going to ask one last question, George, because obviously you haven't retired yet, and having this mushrooming business, you've still made it clear that you've got designs on your international career, presumably building on the 45 caps that you have. What's your kind of end goal? Yeah, what are your international ambitions? Another World Cup?
Well, yeah, I guess for me, I want to really enjoy my time in Japan. I think it's something that I've wanted to do for a good long while, have a different experience. But then I'm also 30 years old, so hopefully I've got plenty of, a lot left in the tank. And there's some pretty exciting things coming up in terms of the rugby calendar. So I will always try to play as best as I can, train as hard as I can, and then I pretty much leave the rest up to the coaches who are involved, really.
And listen, I hear a perfectly executed grabber kick. It isn't seen a lot in Japan, so maybe there's a gap for you.
Yeah, there is.
Dom, George, thank you so much. Good luck with the future of your company, but it sounds like you're on exactly the right kind of trajectory there. And of course, with your rugby ambitions. And most importantly, stay safe during these crazy times, man.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you so much.
All the best.
Great to connect with two gents making that leap. Hopefully a lot of South African sportsmen and women were listening right now, proving that while you will need to grow, obviously, your skills as an entrepreneur and a disruptor, if you will, and not just rely on having been a successful sportsman to create a successful company, it seems like it is a very good place to start.
The international rugby players George, Grace and Dominic Day definitely inspired us for this morning's workout, and a massive thank you to them for taking the time to chat to us this morning. And of course, if you took it easy this weekend and skipped your workout, then this hashtag Monday Motivation Workout, using just a rugby ball with all the training that you need like a pro, and we're going to provide you with a full body workout, and it's a great way to start off a brand new day. And I'm joined by my partner, Katlego, my boy. Yeah.
My pimpie to Katlego. Katlego. Wins on him
Yeah. Okay, so of course, get you ready to have some fun, clearly, man.
I'm ready.
I see you obviously stoked for the win the weekend, clearly. We'll give that. But guys,
you could not rein me in.
For everybody else, guys, grab a ball. If you don't have a rugby ball, of course, grab anything else. So I'm actually using a foam roller just in case you don't have a rugby ball at home and you're looking for something else to create this workout. But like we mentioned, it's rugby inspired. It's a full body workout as well. And we're going to be taking you through the paces. And one thing I've got to explain.
Take one of your pillows, roll them real tight, and wrap a plastic bag around them. He's like,
there we go. That's a nice hack. I like that, guys. If you are doing that, of course, tag us in social media to see what your crazy, unusual ball skills are, and show us if you created a rugby ball yourself for this workout. We would love to know. Okay, guys, so what we're going to do, Kat, you got to pay attention to this one. This is the first one, which is going to get our heart rate pumping. Yeah. It's a leg workout as well. It's good for conditioning, and everything in this workout is really simple. So on the minute, every minute, we're going to do a different exercise. Cool. We've got 4 exercises. So essentially, you can make a 12-minute workout just like that by doing these for 3 rounds, okay? Yeah. So starting off, you're going to put our pillows behind us, actually, just to create some more space. So, Kat, you're going to have your right hand with the ball on the ground, okay? Left foot is going to be next to the ball, and your right foot's going to be behind you. Perfect. So now you're in that kneeled position. From here, you're going to lean your weight, stabilizing the shoulder, keeping your core engaged, and you're going to do a cross lunge. So right foot and left foot switch, and then switch again. All right, so I'm going to show you quickly. So what happens? Core's engaged. 1, boom. Yeah, perfect. And then you're going to stand up, throw the ball up, transfer over to the other side now, back down to the ground. Yeah,
knock on.
Watch the ball skills. All right, and the same thing again. Transition. Yeah, lift up, reverse. Beautiful. There we go. Now you're feeling the flow, man. Keep that going, guys at home. Of course, keep your core engaged. You're going to feel some good movement in the lower legs as well. And use a rugby ball. You can even use a soccer ball if you don't have one. But as you can see already, I'm sure you can feel it too. You're going to feel a burn in the legs. How's it going there?
It's definitely there, yeah, the burns.
Good form, man. You're good form. Kat, you ever play a sport back in your day? You look like you got it, brother.
Bro, I was a lethal fly-off.
Oh, excuse us. All right, so let's see what this fly-off skills are made of. We're going to go straight to the legs now. And this is a great one. This is something unusual. So I want you guys to pay quite a bit of attention to these exercises. It's not often practiced, but it has so much advantage when it comes to including things like lateral line, which is the strength line on the outside of the body. Yeah. And then you have a medial line, which is the line line on the inside of the body. Why this is so valuable, especially in rugby. Can you imagine the guys stepping?
Cheslin Kobe style.
Yeah, man, Kobe. You got 6 guys in front of you. Ba, 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 ba. Try. This is how it gets done, all right? So we're going to work the glutes, but at the same time, strengthen this medial line, which is the inside of the leg, those adductors and that groin as well, all right? Cool. So take your ball in that 90-degree position. I'll put a pillow here just in case your mic pack hurts your back. Anyone at home that does have lower back issues, do the same thing. Use one of these pillows, all right? So now we're going to lean back, have the ball in between your legs, and you want to squeeze against it. Okay. So apply pressure, and you're going to feel inside that groin quite a bit of a squeeze.
I'm shaking already a little bit.
That's it. That means you're doing it right, guys. You heard Kat saying you're shaking already, so am I. That means we're doing it right. Now we're going to lift the glutes high up into the sky as much as we can. 1, 2, and then lower it straight back down, all right? Simple as that. Raise it up again, all the way up, and then straight back down. Now,
all while squeezing tight.
Yeah, squeeze tight all the time. Now, if you want an extra stimulation while squeezing, Kat, and using the core, lift that left leg up in the air and keep squeezing together. All right, now you're going to lift that glute up once again into the air. Keep squeezing.
Whoa.
Beautiful. And then straight back down.
The right glute just got all the concentration there.
Let's go again. And straight back down. You say you're feeling it in that glute, Kat?
Right here, right here.
That is perfect, guys. You're
right
feeling
in the
that
tummy.
same thing, right in the tummy. Then you're doing this exercise correctly. So we are working those glutes quite a bit, but the extra stimulation for that medial line while squeezing this ball is so beneficial for you. All right? How did that go?
Very nice. That was really, really good.
Beautiful. All right, guys. So of course, 1 minute's done. You're going on the minute, every minute, 20 reps of each of these. Now we're moving over to an upper body workout, which is a beautiful one. Once again, what you're going to do, you're going to have the ball in front of you. Soccer ball, doesn't matter what it is. And you're going to have one hand on the ball in a nice wide grip and another hand a little bit wider. Okay, so up on the outside of the mat. Beautiful stuff. Now you got to concentrate, pay attention, keep that core engaged, nice and high. Lovely, Kat. You got your position there? Okay. So we go for a normal push-up, straight back up. And now you're going to try and rotate the ball over to the other side.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. And then over to the other hand for another push-up. There you go. Now we're using our core. We're using those stabilizers as well. And if you guys at home can feel this, on that hand, you'll feel your shoulders shaking quite a bit. That's the stabilizers coming into play. And of course, if you're a rugby player, and look at this man Kat over here go. I'm actually starting to believe you, brother. You might look like a fly-off indeed. But this exercise, guys, is perfect for pushing off your competition, getting them out of the way, and of course, working through in those rucks and all those mauls.
As they say, the bus is full. The bus is full.
There you have it, people. Fill the bus up. You're standing next to Kat. You're not going to last this workout, I'm telling you. But of course, take it home. Have an incredible challenge. Use anything that you can and enjoy the gains, guys. Woo! That was a beautiful one.
Right? Oh, look at that.
welcome back. You're live with Expresso, and it has been an amazing weekend, buddy.
Yes.
Jam-packed weekend of sports again. It just felt actually quite normal. Bit of rugby to watch, some football, even a bit of cricket, some fantastic motorsport, both on 4 and 2 wheels as well. Our senior sports writer, Ryan Freda, now joins us via video to talk us through some of the highlights, to chat a little bit of rugby, chat a little bit of footy. But I almost feel like I should just devote the first. Can I give you 3 seconds to gloat? I'm going to give you 3 seconds. The first 3 seconds to gloat. Go. 3.
Here's how it goes.
3. 2,
Ryan Freda, how are you
1.
doing?
How are you, buddy?
I'm reporting you to Twitter management. Acceptable how you've treated me on Twitter. I just, as a courtesy, want to let you know that I've reported you.
Okay, good.
Don't worry, I'm best friends with Jack. So
sorry about that record, man. Sorry about that record. But let's talk rugby a little bit first. In New Zealand, I don't even know if we should be talking about New Zealand rugby with what they're trying to pull in Super Rugby at the moment. And maybe we'll watch that space for a little bit longer before we force you to talk about it. But let's talk about the Bowden Barrett's homecoming to Wellington. Not going as well as he would have liked. Of course, the Hurricanes getting one over the Blues in a nail-biter, 29-27.
Right, yeah, and I mean, we were speaking about the Barrett brothers, but really the man of the match there was Laumapi. It just kind of drove home to me the kind of wealth of talent that New Zealand has had at the inside centre position for as long as I care to remember, compared to kind of where we're at. And with no disrespect to Damien De Linde, who's a World Cup winner and a fine player, it's a struggle for us in that position. But yeah, overall, good game to watch. I thought, with beyond Laumapi, there were some decent performances, but overall, I think the standard wasn't particularly high. And we're speaking about South Africa maybe being excluded from any New Zealand competition. And I've seen people on Twitter asking me about how that's going to affect the standard of our rugby. I don't think we should underestimate the impact that we've had on New Zealand teams as well. It's not just a one-way street there. We've had a high standard of rugby for as long as we've been in Super Rugby, and even though we may not have competed at the levels we wanted to, I think if they're honest with themselves, they also say that we've had an impact on them. So yeah, I don't think the highest standard of rugby, and in the other game we saw that, with the Chiefs surrendering a massive lead there, defensively nowhere. But yeah, we thought it was going to be the Barrett show, but in the end it ended up being the Laumapi show.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you take a look at that, like, as you were talking about the Chiefs surrendering a massive lead. We're talking 31-7, and they finally went down 33-31 to the Highlanders. And perhaps our New Zealand compatriots need a reminder of who the world champions are.
Exactly.
Before they
world
make
champion?
such decisions.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we'll watch that space to see what actually comes out of it. But I'm going to quickly breeze through. Of course, on the other side of the Pacific, we've got the Reds up against the Western Force in Australia. 31-24, the scoreline there. The Brumbies edging out the Tars at 23-24 to close out our Super Rugby. But I'm going to leap right across now to FA Cup action, so we've got enough time to talk about it. And some good English football, a great weekend for the London clubs. Let's start with Aubameyang putting in a striker's performance. Beautiful counter-attacking football that we've seen from Arsenal for the last week, actually, not just this weekend.
I'd love to hear what Ryan has to say about the brilliant performance we saw from the Gunners.
And go on,
In fairness, Arsenal to them, the two best sides in England, and Arsenal shut them down. I think the key for them is now strengthening in central areas. They need to get a better defensive holding midfielder and add to their central backs. Tactically excellent, and Arteta got one over Pep this weekend.
Well,
sign the contract, Alba. Sign the contract.
Well, they're going to have to keep him there, because I would imagine people have been knocking, and Arteta going back. He captained that side that won the FA Cup a while back, but I thought David Luiz, much improved performance as well.
Without a doubt. Then, of course, encounter Chelsea doing the job over Manchester United. I mean, when you saw 2-0 down just at the beginning of the second half, you were wondering already, is this the kind of Manchester United that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is looking to take into the Champions League?
Yeah, and we saw there that he's got holes in his squad. I mean, when he's not playing that best 11, which I think includes Pogba and not Fred, and Nemanja Matic as the holding mid. I think he's got serious problems there. Not least of all his goalkeeper, who, in fairness, has been excellent for over a decade in Premier League football, but he's really at the end of himself right now. And I think, Celsius, there's lots of talk in the press that he's going to be adding the likes of Jadon Sancho, etc., etc. Everyone's been linked with United, and you see now that beyond his best 11, that squad is thin, man. But credit to Chelsea, who've been playing some good stuff, really good against the top teams. Tactically, Frank Lampard, I think, has evolved his philosophy and his ability to blunt teams with the attacking tools that United have. So all credit to Chelsea there.
Yeah, tactical brilliance, and I thought Mount was also superb, putting his hand up for Young Player of the Year, undoubtedly. Of course, plenty of action in the league itself now, just one game to play for most of our teams. Spurs getting one over Leicester. Now, of course, Leicester have to beat Manchester United to be able to get their place in the Champions League. But really, really going down to the wire. I think I really had to feel, in particular, for Bournemouth. Eddie Howe just, has done such amazing things with that team, and they really, really, really now battling to stay in it, one below the relegation zone as it stands at the moment. But it's all going to go down to the wire.
Absolutely, and congratulations to Lewis Hamilton for winning the Hungarian Grand Prix, Fabio Quartararo for winning the Spanish Grand Prix, and of course South Africa's Brad Binder finishing 13th in the Motogp race as well. Thanks so much for your contribution, Ryan Frieden.
And your humility.
The only tweet I'm willing to see from you today is hashtag COYG. Come on, you Gunners.
Deal.
Thank you very much, gents. 4 minutes after 7 right now. Time for us to take a look at those news headlines. President Cyril Ramaphosa has told the children of the Ikageng orphanage in Orlando West, Soweto, that he wished former President Nelson Mandela was still around as the country battles the COVID-19 crisis. Ramaphosa was speaking during a virtual reading session to children of Ikageng, marking Mandela Day. He spoke of Madiba's life lessons, emphasizing the icon's love for children. And reading an excerpt from one of Madiba's many writings, Ramaphosa called on young people to strive for the highest education possible and to continue building a new world. Health Minister Dr. Zweli Mkhize has made an urgent appeal to South Africans to take the coronavirus seriously as the number of infections continues to rise in the country. Mkhize said government had done all it could to slow the spread, but can't win the battle alone. He is extremely concerned that South Africans are letting down their guard at a time when the spread of infection is surging. As of yesterday, the cumulative number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in South Africa is 364,328, and the total number of deaths is 5,033. In international news, the UN's top humanitarian official, Mark Lowcock, says the COVID-19 pandemic and resulting recession are set to trigger the first increase in global poverty in 3 decades, pushing 265 million people to the point of starvation by the end of the year. He urgently called on the world's leading industrial nations, the G20, to step up support as he released an updated $10.3 billion appeal to fight the coronavirus spread in 63 low-income countries. Failure to act now will leave the virus free to circle around the globe and undo decades of development. The United Arab Emirates will launch its first mission to Mars today as it strives to develop its scientific and technology capabilities and move away from its reliance on oil. The Hope probe will launch from Japan's Tanegashima Space Center for a 7-month journey to the Red Planet, where it will orbit and send back data on the atmosphere. It will aim to provide a complete picture of the Martian atmosphere for the first time and studying daily and seasonal changes. And there are currently 8 active missions exploring Mars. And now, Stellenbosch Wine Farm that has earned its place as international must-visit destination, De Le Graaf Estate, has just been named the best winery in Africa and number 14 in the world by a prestigious global voting academy during the 2020 World's Best Vineyards Awards. De Le Graaf Estate is located outside Stellenbosch in the Western Cape and was the only wine farm in South Africa to make the list. The stunning establishment was recognized for its unforgettable views of the valley and, of course, its spectacular wine, earning a place as an international must-visit destination. The estate's restaurant Indochine received special mention for the dazzling and sophisticated experience it offers. Argentina's Zuccardi Valle de Uco was crowned world's best vineyard for a 2nd year running, and Bodega Garzón in Uruguay was named 2nd best. The 2020 20 top 50 vineyards represented 18 countries and included first-time winners from India and Japan. And now taking a quick glimpse into the world of entertainment, South Africa was saddened this past Saturday when it was confirmed that veteran Mzansi actress Elise Kaywood had passed away at the age of 68. A statement released by her daughter Jenna reveals that the actress had been diagnosed with lung cancer in September and fought gracefully until the end. Elise's cancer spanned 4 decades, starring in such productions as Sidingo, Red Dust and Des Ek Honor. She even had a gorgeous pearl white species of rose named after her for her contribution to theatre, film, television as well over the years. And many actors and agencies have paid tribute to her, including actor Grant Swanby, who wrote, "She was extraordinary. Ask anyone who ever met her. We truly have lost a gem of a human being today, and the world is a lesser place without her in it." Our heartfelt condolences to the Dunster family, and may her soul rest in eternal peace. And that's where we leave it for now. Here's a look at your sports.
Thanks so much, Travis. Let's get into specifics now on the sporting front in rugby. New Zealand and Australia's Super Rugby tournaments continuing this weekend with some nail-biting action when it came down to the scorelines. The Highlanders came from behind to beat host Chiefs 33-31 at the Waikato Stadium. And in the other Aotearoa match, the Barrett brothers went head-to-head as the Hurricanes just edged out the Blues 29-27. Then in the Australian domestic competition, the Reds powered back to beat the Western Force 31-24, and the Brumbies clinched a 23-24 win over the Waratahs. Then on to football. Defending FA Cup champions Manchester City were knocked out of the competition. That was after suffering a 2-0 loss to Arsenal at the Wembley Stadium on Saturday. It was a brace by star striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang that fired the Gunners into a record 21st FA Cup final. And of course, Arsenal will face off against Chelsea in that final showdown after the latter beat Manchester United 3-1 yesterday. The final will take place at the Wembley Stadium on Saturday, the 1st of August. And staying in the UK, Tottenham Hotspur kept their Europa League hopes alive after a 3-0 win over Leicester City in the Premier League last night. Striker Harry Kane, now definitely back to his best, scored a brace on the night to secure the win for Jose Mourinho's side. Leicester, on the other hand, suffered a huge blow to their hopes of playing in the Champions League as the Premier League now heads into its final week. Then on to motorsport action. Formula One continued yesterday with reigning champion Lewis Hamilton claiming his 8th Hungarian Grand Prix checkered flag ahead of Red Bull's Max Verstappen and Mercedes teammate Valtteri Bottas. So Hamilton controlled the race from start to finish and moved into the World Championship lead now for the first time this season. Verstappen claimed an extraordinary second place after crashing on his way to the grid, but still managing to find his way to the podium and walk away as driver of the day. Then on to two wheels. Petronas Yamaha's Fabio Quartararo, he won the first Motogp race of 2020 after starting on pole, while defending champion Marc Marquez crashed out. And South African Brad Binder, now bumped up to MotoGP, finished 13th overall at the Spanish Grand Prix. It was a Yamaha 1-2 with Maverick Vinales finishing in second place. That was ahead of Ducati's Andrea Dovizioso. 8-time world champion Marc Marquez suffered a broken arm after a pretty heavy crash. He'll be going for surgery later this week. That's where we leave our sport for now. Let's take another look at the weather.
I'm pretty sure that we can all agree that there can be nothing more pleasing to the eye and all senses than the sunrise. And that is why we start each morning by viewing some of the beautiful sunrise pictures that you share with us, such as this very serene sunrise image taken by Ndokozo Makatini in Johannesburg just before the hustle and bustle gets going. Now, Josie, expect mostly clear weather today at a low of 0 degrees, reaching a high of 20 degrees. Now down to the Western Cape, Geraldine Flatwell took this picture of a sun emerging above the hills in Simonstown. You start off the day at a minimum of 13 and will reach a maximum of 18 degrees. Thank you so much, Ndokozo and Geraldine, for your gorgeous pictures. I hope that you will have a great morning. Now, as monsoon floods and landslides ravage South Asia with huge loss of lives, more than 1 million people have been marooned in Nepal, Bangladesh and India as overflowing rivers wreak havoc. Sad news is also that more than 200 wild animals, including at least 8 rare rhinos, have died in recent flooding at a national park in northeastern India. Kaziranga Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is home to at least 2,400 one-horned rhinos, the world's largest population population of these animals, which experts say face extinction at the turn of the century. With almost 85% of the park underwater, dozens of other animals, including deer, buffalo and porcupines, have also perished, many due to drowning, although others were hit by vehicles as they attempted to escape the floodwaters. Rain is forecast for the rest of the week. But isimo sezulu kuMzantsi Afrika sime ngolhlobo. Siqale ePolokwane at a low of 2 degrees, reaching a high of 20. Mbombela 5.24 are your temperatures for the day. And Pretoria, you start off the morning at 2 degrees, reaching a maximum of 23. Now over into Johannesburg, we are expecting a maximum of 21 degrees, but starts off at 0. Mahikeng, it's a sunny day at a maximum of 23 and a minimum of 2 degrees. Klerksdorp, your temperatures range from 0, reaching a high of 23. Kimberley, your morning temperature is 2 degrees and will reach an afternoon temperature of 22. And Bloemfontein starts the morning off on a very chilly note at -5, reaching a high of 22. Now Richards Bay 2025 are your temperaters for the day. Pietermaritzburg will be quite warm with afternoon temperature of 26 degrees and starts off the day at 8. Durban remains cool at a low of 10, reaching a high of 25. Warm and pleasant temperatures in the Eastern Cape namhlanje, njengapha eMthatha at a maximum of 26 and a minimum of 4 degrees. East London 8.24, Cradock 0.25, and Port Elizabeth, it's a sunny day at a maximum of 21 but starts off at 6 degrees namhlanje. Some partly cloudy conditions in George 9.19, Cape Town the mother city 12.24, a sunny day at Worcester as well at a maximum of 24 but starts off at 10, and Sutherland 0 starts the day reaching a high of 20 degrees, and Uppington 3 is your low, reaching a maximum of 26 degrees. Now remember, whichever part of the country you're in, whatever the weather, make sure to have yourselves a feel-good kind of day. But right now, let's see what Nedbank has in store for you.
Well, they've got a lot in store for you, I can tell you that much. Listen, anyone who has been shopping or been to a shopping center knows the frustration of hunting for a parking bay or trying to find change to pay for that parking ticket. With social distancing, well, that has made paying for a parking ticket even more challenging, where you're trying to think of avoiding handling cash or touching any kind of public screens or buttons.
It's a hot mess, a nightmare. But the good news is that Nedbank is actually eliminating all of these frustrations with the new technology that lets you pay your parking ticket with a scan to pay feature, which is featured on the Nedbank Money app, which is a first in South Africa. This is so big, I love it. Enabled by Nedbank, this feature allows anyone with a QR code scanning banking app to scan their parking ticket and pay instantly, like without ever having to handle cash or touch a parking pay station.
That's absolutely fantastic. So Scan to Pay is now available at Sandton City, at Nelson Mandela Square and at Melrose Arch. So do check it out if you're in the area.
Welcome back to it. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso. We're live on SABC3. Happy Monday. Thank you very much for choosing to start this brand new week with us. Now, we all know this. It goes without saying that during apartheid, South Africa was such an unequal and divided state. Really, it really was. That radical transformation was so much needed to allow everyone equal access to opportunities. And of course, massive strides have been made in this regard. But there still is a long way to go, a long path to walk as a country when it comes to ensuring equality in all spheres, right?
Indeed, Tubbs, and that is why we need to take the following words of Nelson Mandela and apply them in our goal to achieve true transformation. Now, this is what he has to say. He says, action without vision is only passing time, and vision without action is merely daydreaming. But vision with action can honestly just change the world, Tubbs. I love that sentiment. Practice what we preach, otherwise it just becomes a daydream. And I think we're taking and talking about something that's really pertinent right now. So I think coming off of this weekend, it's so important to note. And speaking of which, we should take a look at how leading brand and communications group Joe Public United has made a massive deal that has resulted in it being one of the largest, actually, black-owned independent agencies in South Africa. Now, this is truly amazing. Check it out.
This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on SABC3. Thanks for joining us at the start of a brand new day. Now, we all know that the images portrayed in the media and advertising have a vast impact on us, both consciously and unconsciously, which is why it is so important that the minds in the industry represent the people who are meant to consume this messaging and, of course, the products that are associated. Now, in light of this, the news that we are about to share with you is monumental and pretty awesome at that too. Joe Public United, a leading advertising brand and communications group, has announced that 60% of the company has been acquired by black shareholders, marking a significant milestone in the industry. And joining us via video call this morning to share more about this are the group's managing director, Kuthala Holton, and board chairman, Owen Maubane. A very good morning to both of you. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Good morning,
guys.
Thanks for having me.
It's such a pleasure to have you on the show. I want to start with you, Kuthala. Firstly, congratulations on this amazing achievement. I understand that it took lots of time and hard work to create this transformational deal. Can you please, take us through the various partners that are involved and the current shareholder makeup of Joe Public?
Sure, yes. A very exciting time for us. And it has been a very considered journey and thinking to arrive at this point and partner with our new partners. So our new shareholding makeup is now made up of our partners, Sinatla Capital. They make up 34% of the shareholding. And then we have our partner, I'm a co-founder member of our entity in Ikamvela Kusasa, and we own 26%. It's myself, and I'm managing director of Joe Public, Umpume Ngobese, and she is managing director of one of our digital entity at Joe Public, called Joe Public Connect, and Olisa Jeshana is our chief creative officer. So we make up the 26%, and then the balance is retained by our founding members, which is 40%, and that is Gareth Leck, who is our group CEO, and Pepe Marais, who's our group chief creative officer. And so we are now, the final makeup actually puts us in a position of owning 60% of the organization being owned by in black hands, and then the 40% with our founding members. So a huge, huge milestone for us, and certainly for the industry.
Absolutely. Owen, what an incredible feat. Congratulations to you as well. Now, I understand that transformation is Sinatla Capital's chief mandate. Is this why it made sense to partner with Joe Public in this manner then?
Yes. I should first say that we are a private equity investor. So basically, simply what we do is we collect money from institutional investors like pension funds and insurance companies, and we invested in private companies. And a combination of that is direct equity investment and also funding black industrialists like Ikamvela Kusasa, which we part funded to acquire their 26% stake. So what attracted us was fantastic management at Joe Public. They've been going for 22 years, very profitable business, and also a market opportunity. The ad spend annually is about 40 billion rand. It's growing about 2%. But we think that being a top 10 advertising company, there's room to grow that quite a bit in terms of market share increase. So we're quite excited by the quality of the team, including Kutala, obviously, and her colleagues, and where the company is positioned.
It's truly an exciting venture. Kutala, we are living in a time where now more than ever before, brands have to put their money where their mouths are and are being, actively held accountable to live their brand messaging. Why is this deal so pertinent at this exact moment?
Yeah, at Joe Public, we believe in growing our people, growing our clients, and growing our country. So this deal in itself is an epitome and demonstration of that. And a time like now, where the world there's so much flux, and in particularly the Black voices now demanding and having a voice in the market and demanding for transformation and diversity, this for us is literally delivering on that and being able to give hope and symbolize that we are actually living our values, literally living that story. So we are living our brand. And so that is absolutely very important in this time.
Yeah, something that a lot of, I think, companies can really take on and learn from and what you're doing there. Now, Owen, the new structure also includes a mechanism for equity to be made available to existing and future Joe Public staff in time. Now, how will this work towards opening the way for more Black ownership in the business?
Yeah, so the amount of equity available to Black management is static. So it is 26%. So the idea is that as and when Black executives grow up in the system within Joe Public, they could also participate within that vehicle. Obviously, they'd have to buy in because the three executives has put in quite a considerable capital and guarantees to actually set up that vehicle. So there's huge scope to actually increase the numbers beyond 3.
Now that the ink on the dotted line has dried, what is the way forward? What's the vision for this groundbreaking agency?
Yeah, we have huge aspirations. We really want to almost double the group in the next 5 years. As I said, this is really part of our journey and how we're going to be impacting the people in our business, our clients, and the greater industry at large. So huge aspirations over the next few years.
And for you, Owen?
Yeah, I think where we are is that Joe Public United is a top 10 agency. We are the largest independent agency. And the idea, as Kutala mentioned, is to significantly grow our market share. And I think that the deal that we've done actually positions the company very well to do that. So we're quite excited that we're well positioned to grow. As Kutala said, our purpose is to grow our people. And obviously, we'd like to employ more people, grow our clients, both in terms of market share within our existing client base, but also the number of clients. And then also in terms of growing the country. And obviously, as we grow, we can pay more taxes to the fiscus, but we can also get involved in more CSI. There's an initiative that the company is involved in terms of one school at a time, where we have 2 schools, one in Dobsonville and one in Diepsloot, that we sponsor on an annual basis. We've been doing it for about 12 years. And the idea is to grow that kind of social responsibility as well. So we see huge opportunities for growth, as Kutala mentioned.
Well, it sounds absolutely fantastic and very inspiring. Kutala, Owen, thank you very much for joining us this morning, and congratulations once more.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, at a time such as this, when we are encouraging each other to be the change that we want to see in this world, the structural transformation is so motivating to behold. And so well done to Joe Public United, and we can't wait to see what creative wonders will come from this team next. Are you tired of conference calls, connectivity problems, and need to go on site or be in the boardroom? Well, Mango are soaring the skies once again. As we navigate through this new normal, businesses need to recover, and Mango cares about business. For affordable and reliable business and essential travel, visit www.flymango.com. Go discover more. Go Mango. Book now. Terms and conditions apply.
do the shimmy, just enjoy it. Welcome back, you're live with Expresso. Just in time for the party. Time to celebrate some birthdays, that time of the day where we wish you, our most loved viewers, a very happy birthday. And today, you are in very good company. You celebrate alongside the beautiful Sandra Oh, who turns 49 years young today. No, she's beautiful actress, fantastic talent as well. She's a Canadian-American actress who is well known for her role, of course, on the medical drama Grey's Anatomy. Sandra Oh has received a handful of awards since she started her acting career in 1989. She is currently the leading lady on the British black comedy drama spy thriller series, if you will, called Killing Eve, which I haven't watched, but I've been watching with much anticipation of watching. It looks really cool, but she's cool.
Yeah, she's my person. Do you know that reference? She's
Okay.
Meredith Grey in Grey's Anatomy.
Okay.
No.
Is she a person? Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'll explain to you later.
But she's awesome and she's talented and it's her birthday. So
It
happy
is
birthday.
indeed. And now to you, our loved ones at home. This one reads, Happy 19th birthday to our loving daughter, Zena. Continue to look after yourself in the manner that you do. Enjoy your day. And this comes love from your mother, father, and all your brothers. And she has an Arsenal top there. I know Kat is also... There we go. Only Kat is screaming in the studio. And then the next one reads, Happy... Yeah, shame. I'm sorry, Zena, about that. But then the next one reads, Happy 2nd birthday to our cutie, Zai Sharpley. May God bless you more. Have an awesome day. Love you lots from Ma, Lane, Pa, Jerry, family, and all the friends. Look at that face.
Very, very cute. Then Amy, this is a big one. Happy 18th birthday to my princess, Amy. Watching you grow into a young woman has been the honor of our lives. Lots of love from Parenzi Parker and Abdul families. Happy birthday. Happy 18th. That is a big milestone.
Yeah, indeed.
Then Shauna Jade's also celebrating today. Happy birthday to Shauna Jade. We love you so much. Enjoy this special day. That's coming to you from your mom, your dad, ma, brothers and sisters, the whole family. Loving you.
And then this one reads to Thoti Yelwa. Happy birthday, Thoti Yelwa Mbayi. Have a beautiful day ahead. You deserve it. To more life coming your way. Happy birthday from Mwande. And then to Anele, to the dearest brother from another mother. Thank you for continuously inspiring the youth Ikasi. Keep doing the great things you're doing, brother. Happy birthday from your friends as well.
Is that our first mask-wearing birthday?
It is.
It's the first one. I need. Can you please send us an older picture of Anele so we can see what he actually looks like? I think that's just wrong. But well done for playing your part, Anele. We appreciate that, man. And then I think we can squeeze in one more to many more years of beautiful life, laughter, and fun. Happy birthday to you, Lorna and Kewu. Happy birthday from your entire family and all your friends. Lorna, you're gorgeous. I hope you're having an amazing day. Happy birthday.
Absolutely. And of course, if you would like to send your loved one a birthday message, send us your birthday videos to 071 640 6551 or email your wishes to birthdays@cordova.tv. But of course, if you are celebrating your day today,
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
So maybe you might want to celebrate your birthday with a delicious birthday cake, or how about a barbecue chicken jalapeno roosterkoek? Yes? But let me just say that again so you realize how delicious. It's a barbecue chicken jalapeno popper roaster cook. It's a mouthful to say and a mouthful of flavor to taste, but super easy to prepare. And each one of these handheld parcels of cheesy, smoky, fiery goodness is inspired by jalapeno poppers. And the best part is you can fire it up and braai it and enjoy them at any time with all of the braai gears without worrying about load shedding. I mean, let's face it, who doesn't love a weekday braai? If we could, I think South Africans would braai every day. Maandag braai, Dinsdag braai, Woensdag braai, Thursday braai, Friday braai, Saturday braai, Sunday braai. Repeat.
Braai. I love to braai.
Braai.
Ik hou van braai.
How about it?
Ja.
Ja, braai.
Kom ons braai.
Ja, braai.
Let's braai. But okay. Am I wrong for be like, okay, load shedding's coming, I'm okay because I'm gonna braai. It's an excuse for me to braai every day.
And that's the thing, always being prepared, because you don't know when Eskom might decide, hey, okay guys, so load stage 2.
Eskom doesn't know when Eskom's gonna do load shedding.
Hey, stage 4.
It's just like, what do you want to do for fun?
No, in all seriousness, we know it's a bit more serious than that.
Is
but
it?
It helps this. It is Chef Clem, but it helps to stay prepared, to know exactly, that you can do some things at home. So I'm loving the end result. Let's take it a couple of steps back to the beginning.
So we're talking daily difference today.
Yep.
And the deals this week are amazing. And it's a quality we love from Woolworths for less than you expect. So rotisserie chicken. You say rotisserie chicken, people just go like, huh? What?
Like what kind of chicken?
Yes,
rotisserie chicken.
The rotisserie chicken. And you know what? Like hands down, Woolies rotisserie chicken is the best. It's butter brined. We know how brining anything makes it amazing.
Have you seen it spinning in the back there in the rotisserie?
I have it as my wallpaper on the back of my phone. You just see the chickens rotating on my wallpaper.
Oh, really?
It's mesmerizing. I mean, it's amazing.
I love chicken, but man, that takes the
My
cake.
firstborn child is going to be rotisserie. No! What's wrong with that? Rotisserie Rachel Pedro. What's wrong with that?
Gosh.
No, you
That's
guys are like hurting my
incredible.
feelings.
It's
Okay,
incredible.
cool. So all I've done is I've got 2 chickens because that's a promo. Get 2 and you save, right? So I've got my chicken. I shredded it off the bone. Thank you, Nicole, so much for getting these. She said I must let South Africa know. She got these yesterday because you can't get chicken at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Of course.
We're going to change that. But what I love is also if you buy rotisserie chicken and you have leftover for the next day, this is what you need to make. Shred your chicken, nice big chunks. Don't make it too fine. You want it to be nice and chunky. If you don't have this right now, at the end of the show, you need to go out immediately.
Which is a smoky barbecue marinade.
This is bottled brie.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like it's behind the ears. Yeah, on the point. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's really, really intense. That smoky flavor is magic. It's sweet. It's just like, it's everything you need in a braai. Okay, that's going on there. This is such a simple recipe because I want to keep it simple. If you are struggling with load shedding, this is a great one to make. Yes, okay, if you got a gas cooker like we do, load shedding is not really going to affect you.
Yeah.
But it's great. Like a little tiny portable little charcoal braai. This is what it's for. This is what it's for. Cool, so that's gonna chill, that's done. I've done nothing.
I love how generous you've been with the marinade because there's nothing more just tasteless than teasing people with your marinade. If you want to marinade, okay?
Yeah.
I want to taste it, I want to enjoy it, and if I like it, I want more.
Exactly.
Okay.
If it says barbecue, make sure
that I can taste.
You can taste it. Okay.
Barbecue.
These amazing rooster cook. I mean, these are really great. I was so surprised when I saw them at Woolies. I love these. You know what I really like on these?
Yes.
Toasted, like peanut butter, and then just the peanut butter and malt. This bread is so pillowy, soft. It's crazy.
Can I feel it? Oh, that's amazing. That's lovely. That's
amazing.
lovely
Okay.
stuff.
So you slice your bread open. Then what you're going to do is you're going to add, it's a braai breakie.
Yes.
You must have cheese.
Yes.
Okay, that's going in there. I'm using mozzarella because mozzarella is really great because it melts. It gives it that ooey gooey melt that we absolutely love.
Cheddar would work as well. I mean, I like the strength of cheddar.
I'm trying to think of a cheese that wouldn't work, and I'm not finding it. Blue cheese and, by the way, blue cheese and barbecue. Oh my goodness.
Now.
That is so good, so good. Cheddar, Gouda, a mozzarella, a goat cheese and barbecue.
I'm still on that blue cheese barbecue vibe because like 2 opposing flavors that could duke it out in your mouth and have a delicious battle.
Absolutely. Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, wow. Blue cheese wins. Round 2.
Okay, I love it. Okay.
I mean,
you gotta have the thick sliced tomato.
Oh, yes.
You gotta have the onion. I love it. You gotta have the onion.
I love how you go double tomato.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy with the tomato, and make sure it's a thick slice of tomato. You don't want to have it too thin because you got beautiful big flavor.
Leave some space for the rotisserie. Here it comes.
Here it comes. Okay, make it nice and big, but make it like big so you can still control it and manage it.
Wow.
Yeah. So actually, this is version 2 of the sandwich. I once wrote the recipe for Nal to do back in the day, old Expresso, and Nicole actually gave me the idea. She was like, "You have to do it a version 2 of it so you can." Can't be a jalapeno popper inspired sandwich without
the jalapeno.
And these are just pickled and sliced.
That's just going to add a little bit of heat to your situation, especially if you're feeling slightly chills. Oh, look at that.
Why is it called chili if chili makes you hot, but chili in the word means you're cold? I'm sorry, that just hit me right now. Why is it called chili? I don't know.
You're onto something, sir.
Okay, cool. Another slice of cheddar because you want melting.
Oh my word.
I'm sorry, a slice of mozzarella. You want melting on both sides.
Oh my good. And that's going to melt all over that business.
Business.
You understand what it's going to infuse into the jalapeno chili, the jalapenos, through the chicken, into the tomato, and then meet its cousin on the other side. Be like, hey,
In the corner
nice to cheese you.
In the corner of my eye, I'm seeing people come closer right now. The viewers that don't conceive this.
Us up where we belong. And then that's happening in your mouth as well. That's
I love it.
Insane.
Doesn't a bride do that? Start a fire. People just come around. I like that song that you were singing now.
Where the eagles fly on a mountain high.
Louder!
Listen. Give the people what they want.
Give them what they want. Okay, so over medium heat coals right now. Get this going. If you don't have a griddle pan, in the oven is fine. Stovetop, just make it. Make it, and you put it in your face and you just eat it.
Enjoy, South Africa. Enjoy. You have thusly been inspired. Check out the recipe on our website, expressoshow.com. As always, Chef Clem, thank you very much. Absolutely delicious.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
And we are back njengomqolo senamkela kwinkqubo yanamhlanje u-Expresso apha ku-SABC 3 ne-Graham.
Ne.
I'm kidding. Now, earlier on, we let you know that we love, talking to you on our social media platforms. And today we are focusing specifically on relationships.
On love. Yeah.
On love, whether it's romantic relationships or your family. How have your relationships grown positively during lockdown? And we have received a number of responses, of which we're going to delve into them right now.
We're going to, because it has been a test. You put people in that kind of close proximity, it's going to put a strain on a relationship, or it could be the best thing that's ever happened to you.
Yes.
And this one coming through now this morning, this is from Riksha. My relationship in terms of family is much stronger. We're much closer and we love each other and can't stay a day without each other. In terms of my love relationship, it's going great. We learn to work together for the smallest of things and to save up. That's pretty cool. We communicate better now. I suppose you have to. I have a broken leg. Sorry, man. And he's taking care of my every need 24/7, including my family's support. I can echo that. My family's been amazing through my process over the last couple of weeks, but it proves how strong you can be.
You're growing stronger together as a family unit. This one is a Clement. It's the last one for right now. Good morning, Expresso. My relationship with my kids has grown because we make every second count when I visit them. We get to discuss more issues and come up with solutions. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. If you're not with your family during lockdown, so when you do get that time, you savor absolutely every single second. Well, we're going to savor every second now, all 5 seconds. Okay, because we're going to be playing in 5 seconds. Our game of 5 seconds. Time for the ultimate showdown.
Well, if Gushle Adams is back in Jengomqolo, then this is how we get down. Jengamadolo. Listen, a very wise woman once said, what's love got to do with it? What's love but a second-hand emotion? And so today's round of 5 seconds is all about L-O-V-E. And it's only fitting that we have the three most appropriate panelists playing. First up, we have the very drunk in love, Uncle Tabsy. There he is. Yes, very drunk in love. Second up, we have teen heartthrob, Ryle Demone. Yeah. And finally, we have the woman who loves to be loved by you, Jamie Lee Domberg.
You can call me Miranda Priestley for this one because, you know, don't bore me with
this quote
questions.
is causing a stir up in here.
Okay, bring it down a notch, Miranda. Okay, so today's theme is all about love, and you're playing for two very lovely boxes of Omar rusks. Of course, the peanut butter flavored rusks, the brand new one, and I know that you each would love to take them both home. Okay, so you know how it works. 5 seconds, you have to answer each of the questions I shall pose to you. Panelists, are you ready?
Yeah, I am ready. I am ready.
Let us laugh.
I am particularly ready.
Let us laugh. Uncle Tabsy, you're up first. You have 5 seconds to sing 3 lyrics with love in them. Go.
Drunk in love, I will always love you. Your secret love. No!
What's secret love?
I'm gonna award that one to. Can I do that? I think. Yeah. I'm gonna make an executive call and award it to you.
Thank you.
For the grind there at the end, that was extra innovation. Ryle, name 3 rom-com movies.
51st Dates, Dear John, The Longest Yard, The Longest Mile.
What? The Longest Yard is not a rom-com. What are you talking about? Get out of here, Jamie, you got 5 seconds to name 3 words to describe love.
Smack, enthusiastic happiness, gorge.
You said smart. Okay, I got smart. Enthusiastic, that was borderline. And engorge.
What does engorge mean?
You should see your doctor about that engorgement.
Entanglement, that's what I meant to say.
Jamie's in an engorgement.
Moving right along, here we go. 5 seconds. Uncle Tabsy, say I love you in 3 languages.
Ek is lief vir jou. Ngiyakthanda nakurandza.
Hey, Uncle Tabsy. Ryle Demone, you have 5 seconds to name 3 nicknames for a loved one.
My lief, my scat, baby.
Jamie, 5 seconds to name 3 ways to show affection.
Hugging, kissing, and just looking at the person.
Look at me, quick.
Yeah, that last one was bordering on an engorgement. All right, here we go. Round 3. Tabiso, 5 seconds to name 3 ways to love yourself.
Take yourself to the spa. I mean, give yourself a manicure. Just listen to yourself and honor your decisions.
Sunday motivation, we need to love ourselves. Ryle, you're up next. 5 seconds to name 3 ways to win a girl's heart.
Make her smile, make her laugh, make her scream with joy and elation.
Let me consult my auditors. We will accept it.
What is she screaming? Like, what is she saying? Like,
yes. Next mission.
Quam. Jamie, 5 seconds to name 3 deal breakers when dating.
Not being honest, cheating, and kissing someone else.
Are we going to accept that?
No, I don't think you should.
We will accept it. It's fine. All right. Here we go. Round 4. Tabiso, 5 seconds to name 3 things you love.
About what? Okay, singing, even though I can't, dancing, and eating. Yeah. That's right. That's right.
5 seconds to name 3 things you don't love.
Crying, being small and skinny, being malnourished. That's a hard question. I love everything.
Like you don't like him.
Okay.
I'm not skinny.
We're still in this round 4. Jamie, 5 seconds to name 3 celeb crushes.
Idris Elba, David Beckham, Jimmy Nevis. You guys know this.
Right, round 5. Here we go. Uncle Tabsy, 5 seconds to name 3 bad excuses for breaking up.
It's not you, it's me. I need to work on myself just for this month.
Hey, Corona, get out of this body. What's going on? Just for this month.
You know when it's December and people have actually gotten paid bonuses, they tend to disappear for a month, and so they want to work on themselves for a month.
Here we go. Okay, we'll accept it. Ryle, 5 seconds to name 3 bad pickup lines.
Jeez. Oh.
That's one.
He's never had to work for it. I feel like Ryle's never had to work for it.
Jamie, 5 seconds to name 3 nice ways to turn down a man.
I'll call you later. It's not you, it's me, and I have a boyfriend.
Those are acceptable. We'll take those. All right, the scores are being tabulated by our adjudicators, and it seems we have ourselves a love tie between Jamie and Uncle Tabsy.
An engorgement, if you will.
Unbelievable. Okay, you'll have to share the rusks between the two of you, but that was absolutely wonderful. But we, of course, don't want to keep all of the rusks to ourselves, and that's why you have the chance to win with Omar Rusks too. So this week, we're looking for your after-work dip. So you can post your photos on the Expresso Facebook page or Twitter page with the hashtag anytime is dipping time. And this week, you're playing for a delicious coffee plunger and Omar Rusks worth 500 Rand. The competition closes on Thursday at 11 a.m., so don't waste any time. Terms and conditions that apply can be found on our website, expressoshow.com. Whatever you do, go out there and laugh.
Let's engorge these rusks.
Our favorite Omar Rusks just got a whole lot more yum yum with the all-new peanut butter flavor. Anytime is dipping time. Imagine a land where the Imagine Imagine a land where the sun shines all year over unspoilt landscapes, open spaces and pure air revitalizing body and soul. Imagine crystal clear water teeming with marine life. Imagine wild beasts roaming the bush with pride. Imagine friendly people filled with the spirit of Ubuntu welcoming you to explore this magical land, the birth and resting place of Madiba. Wamkelekile in the Eastern Cape, a province that is yours to explore.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Thank you for staying with your Feel Good Breakfast show, Expresso, here on SABC3. Now, even before the lockdown, our lives have become significantly more digital. And fortunately, most banking customers are already familiar with the many benefits that their banking apps provide. But just because you know how to use your bank's apps doesn't mean you're getting the most out of it. And here to tell us just how to do that is Tawanda Chatikobo, the head of digital channels at Nedbank. Tawanda, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you, Tawanda. You know, everyone is always promising to save more, but it's not always that easy. How can our banking app help us form better money habits?
Great. That's such a great question, because what we're seeing with banking apps is taken the experience of banking out of the physical environment into somebody's pocket, which means simplicity and convenience. A nice way of kind of exemplifying that is a lot of modern banking apps give you the opportunity to save very easily and very seamlessly with minimal, obstruction to your day-to-day. So, for example, within the Nedbank app, we have a tool called Pocketsafe. And what that allows you to do is literally every month, or as much as you want, you can take off a little bit of money from your main current account, put it into a savings pocket automatically, and get up to 5% in terms of interest on that. So what you see is there's a behavior that's automated. So you don't have to go through the effort of it. It's simply just setting up the settings on your app, and then that allows you to build that saving behavior. And after a little while, you get a nice little bit of change that you saved up over the period that you wanted to do it. So that's what we're seeing in terms of just driving that behavior of being savers, being investors, but becoming a lot more financially astute, being driven by our apps.
And it sounds like the app makes it easy enough. It sounds pretty straightforward. But you mentioned that My Pocket feature. Why would you encourage people to look into this?
I think the important thing is and I'm going to use COVID as a nice example, is that the world's going through a very difficult time as it is right now. And sometimes when that happens, saving and planning for the future isn't a priority. You're worried about the day-to-day and the today. But the future is still going to come. Tomorrow is still going to come. So it's absolutely important then that we remove the pain of our clients planning for tomorrow and make it easy and automated for them. And that's why that My Savings Pocket feature becomes quite important, because it removes that day-to-day worry. You can now focus on more important things, as it were, and let your savings take care of themselves.
Now, as someone who pays, their rent and buys electricity and data through my app, what are some of the other key features that a banking app can offer me?
So what we're seeing is a migration or an evolution from banking apps from the basic transactions you just mentioned, which is making payments and buying airtime and buying data, to being more of a lifestyle tool. So, for example, within the Nedbank app, we have a proposition called Hey Ned, which is a digital concierge service. So you may ask yourself, why is that important to me if I'm a bank client? A digital concierge service, a license renewal, if you want to find a plumber, if you want to find, some sort of service that normally you need to go out and do, you can do that through Hey Ned. So what you're seeing now is a beyond banking proposition, as it were, where we're moving away from the nuts and bolts of banking to how do we improve our customers' lives. And we do that at Nedbank as part of our beyond banking strategy. There's another one I can mention, which is Avo, which we recently launched to market, which is in Africa first. Now, Avo is a super app, as we've termed it, and what it is, and essentially, is a very powerful e-commerce platform developed and launched by a bank that sits in your pocket. So you're able to bring the best of both worlds: financial services, i.e. banking digitally, and e-commerce in your pocket through one seamless experience and one seamless enterprise. So just off those two examples, you can see how we've gone significantly beyond banking as we traditionally know it, which is your payments, your transfers, and your prepaids, and electricity and airtime, to being a full lifestyle proposition that sits in your pocket, available to you 24/7.
This is fantastic, Tawanda. Really, you've got my full attention here. Now, for people that are a little skeptical about digital banking or find the idea daunting, and there are people like that, why would you encourage them to really get in there and give it a try, spend some time trying to experience and explore it?
Absolutely. I think for me, the biggest draw, or at least the biggest selling point, with myself being deeply steeped in the digital space, is the convenience and ability to save time. So we know that going to a branch on a Saturday or any other weekday, to be honest, is a bit of a drawn-out process. You're stuck in a queue, perhaps, or it takes a while to get there and to get back to whatever you were doing. All of that now can be done in your app. as and when you're ready, when it's convenient. So digital banking allows you to own and control the banking experience on your own terms. That's the most important thing. And what you find as well is there's an additional convenience, if I may say so. So let's use an example. So traditionally, you'd have had to wait till the end of the month for your statements to be posted to you. Now you can access your statements, whether it's for a current account or for your home loan or for your car loan. You can access those statements instantaneously via an app or your online banking tool. That's what we mean when we say digital banking gives you convenience. It puts the power of banking in your pocket at your terms.
And you're absolutely right, Tawanda. That's what consumers are looking for. We're looking to be empowered without having to go too far to look and for finding that value on our phones as well. But thank you so much, Tawanda Chatikobo.
Thank you for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
And that was Tawanda Chatikobo, the head of digital channels for Nedbank. Now, spend some time and explore all the features that your banking app has available, because you'll be surprised, promise you. And if you haven't already, you should download the Nedbank Money app from your app store today, or by visiting www.nedbank.co.za.
So I'm chatting to Umalume Mosa here. He's owned a small clothing factory for years now, and he's always inspired me with his success. But like a lot of businesses, this lockdown's hit him hard. So he spoke to his banker, and they've put together a tailor-made relief solution for him to help his business and his people get through this. Making your bank your business partner, that's a habit worth keeping.
You're still locked in. It's your feel-good breakfast show, and I'm telling you, there's such a special energy out there. It feels a little bit like love, and of course, we're going to provide you with so much more when it comes to relationships and all the advice that you need. But before we get into it, let's find out what's happening the latest at your 8 o'clock news with Kat.
Indeed, it has just gone 8 o'clock on this Monday morning. Here's a look at those news headlines. On the national news front, Health Minister Zweli Mkhize this weekend said the recommended isolation period for patients who had contracted the coronavirus had been revised from 14 to 10 days. Mkhize said it had been proven that in mild cases, the infection was only present for about 8 days. The minister briefed the media on government's revised de-isolation guidelines and the new approach to tracking and tracing COVID-19 patients. He also announced the launch of a COVID-19 or COVID contact app, which could be used to track and trace suspected COVID-19 patients. Meanwhile, President Cyril Ramaphosa has told the children of the Ikageng orphanage in Orlando West, Soweto, that he wishes former President Nelson Mandela was still around as the country battles the COVID-19 crisis. Ramaphosa was speaking during a virtual reading session to the children of Ikageng marking Mandela Day. He spoke of Madiba's life lessons, emphasizing the icon's love for children. Reading an excerpt from one of Madiba's many writings, Ramaphosa called on young people to strive for the highest education possible and to continue building a new world. On the international news front this morning, a former lover's taped conversation, murky financial dealings splashed across front pages, and a legacy in ruins. The emergence of shocking allegations of corruption and money laundering against former Spanish King Juan Carlos have cast doubt over the very future of the monarchy under his son, King Felipe. The 82-year-old's private financial activities have now prompted 2 court inquiries in Switzerland and Spain. But Felipe's name has also been linked to the luxury lifestyle bankrolled by his father's offshore millions, prompting calls for reforms and greater accountability. In other news, the UN's top humanitarian official, Mark Lowcock, says the COVID-19 pandemic and resulting recession are set to trigger the first increase in global poverty in 3 decades, pushing 265 million people to the point of starvation by the end of the year. He urgently called on the world's leading industrial nations, the G20, to step up support as he released an updating $10.3 billion appeal to fight the coronavirus spread in 63 low-income countries. Failure to act now will leave the virus free to circle the globe and undo decades of development. And now great news for all lovers of rugby. One of South Africa's favorite sons, Springbok rugby captain Siya Kolisi, this weekend received a double honor. During the 18th Nelson Mandela annual lecture on the 18th of July, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres announced the designation of Kolisi as a global advocate for Spotlight Initiative, the global partnership between the European Union and the United Nations to eliminate all forms of violence against women and girls by 2030. As a UN global advocate, Kolisi will lend lent his name, his time, influence, and support toward ending violence against women and girls around the world. Another huge accolade for him came as the prestigious Rugby World magazine released what they called the ultimate list of rugby's movers and shakers. Every 2 years, the magazine puts together a list of the sport's 50 most influential people with input from experts from all over the world. Now, Rugby World also noted that Kolisi has been working tirelessly with his foundation to help those affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Kolisi is undoubtedly the most influential man in rugby at the moment. And now taking a quick glimpse into the world of entertainment this morning. While working from the comfort of your own home sounded very appealing at the beginning of quarantine, some people must admit that they do miss the feeling of being back at the office. For those people who miss the environment of being around colleagues, a website called The Sound of Colleagues has made a virtual white noise machine that hopes to recreate the office vibe that we are missing. Now, the site emulates the sounds of keyboards clicking, people in the background, telephones, a printer, an open window, and even an office dog. Now, you have the option of controlling which sounds you hear and at what volume you hear them. It truly makes you feel like you never left the office. Well, that's it for the news at 8 o'clock. And right now, let's take another look at the sporting headlines from the weekend.
Thanks so much, Kat. Let's start with a roundup of our rugby results over the weekend. New Zealand and Australia's Super Rugby tournaments continuing with some nail-biting action going down to the wire. Highlanders came from behind to beat the hosts, the Chiefs, 33-31 at the Waikato Stadium. And in our other Aotearoa match, the Barrett brothers went head-to-head as the Hurricanes just edged out the Blues 29-27. In the Australian domestic competition, the Reds, they powered back to beat the Western Force 31-24. And the Brumbies clinched a 23-24 win over the Waratahs. Then on to football. Defending FA Cup champions Man City were knocked out of the competition after suffering a 2-0 loss to Arsenal at Wembley Stadium on Saturday. It was a brace for star striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang that fired the Gunners into a record 21st FA Cup final. Arsenal will meet Chelsea in that final showdown. That was after the latter beat Manchester United 3-1. That final will take place at Wembley Stadium on Saturday, the 1st of August. Then staying with football, Tottenham Hotspur kept their Europa League hopes alive after a 3-0 win over Leicester City in the Premier League last night. Striker Harry Kane now back to his best, scoring 2 goals on the night to secure the win for Jose Mourinho's side. On the other hand, Leicester suffering a huge blow to their hopes of playing in the Champions League as the Premier League now heads into its final week. And plenty of action on the motorsport front as well. Formula One continued yesterday with reigning champion Lewis Hamilton claiming his 8th Hungarian Grand Prix checkered flag. That ahead of Red Bull's Max Verstappen and his teammate in Mercedes, Valtteri Bottas. So Hamilton controlling the race from start to finish, moving into the World Championship lead as well for the first time this season. Verstappen claimed an extraordinary second place, considering that he crashed on his way to the grid, but still managed a podium finish and, of course, walked away as driver of the day. Now moving to two wheels, Petronas Yamaha's Fabio Quartararo won the first Motogp race of a rebooted 2020 after starting on pole, whilst defending champion Marc Marquez, he crashed out. And South African Brad Binder, he finished in 13th overall at the Spanish Grand Prix. And it was Yamaha 1-2 with Maverick Vinales finishing in second place, that just ahead of Ducati's Andrea Dovizioso. 8-time world champion Marc Marquez, he suffered a broken arm after a heavy crash. He'll be going for surgery later this week. And that's a wrap of your sport for this Monday morning. Let's take one last look at the weather.
We know that when the sun gets higher into the sky, that is when the day's activities get going. Now, as we have a look at the final weather report, let us feast our eyes with beautiful sunrise pictures that we have had the pleasure of looking at earlier on. Photographer Lwando Mqutu boasts his talents with a sunset picture taken at Blowbig Beach yesterday. Thank you so much, Lwando, for that picture. Thank you to Britannia Bay's Joan Cameron, who shared this beautifully subtle sunrise picture, giving way to a sunny day for Britannia Bay. And kakhulu Ntokozo Makatini for sharing this peaceful sunrise picture of the city of gold. It's definitely going to be a great day for you, Josie Maboneng. We finish off with Geraldine's stunning sunrise picture taken in Simonstown. Please keep those pictures going and flowing like the water on our social media platforms, Expresso Show SABC3 on Facebook or at Expresso on Twitter. Now, as monsoon floods and landslides ravage South Asia with huge loss of lives, more than 1 million people have been marooned in Nepal, Bangladesh and India as overflowing rivers wreak havoc. Sad news is also that more than 200 wild animals, including at least 8 rare rhinos, have died in recent flooding at a national park in northeastern India. Kaziranga Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is home to at least 2,400 one-horned rhinos, the world's largest population of these animals, which experts say face extinction at the turn of the century. With almost 85% of the park underwater, dozens of other animals, including deer, buffalo and porcupines, have also perished, many due to drowning, although others were hit by vehicles as they were attempting to escape the flood waters. Rain is forecast for the rest of the week in those regions. But now, taking a final look at the forecast for the rest of our country, not much is happening today in terms of the weather. Starting off with Polokwane with a maximum of 20 degrees and a minimum of 2 degrees. In Mbombela, 524 are your temperatures for this Monday. And Pretoria, it's a partly cloudy day, starting off at 2, reaching a high of 23. Now, moving over to Johannesburg, we are expecting a maximum of 21 degrees, but starting off the day at 0. Mahikeng, a sunny day for you at a max of 23 and a min of 2 degrees. Klerksdorp, your temperatures range from 0, reaching a high of 23. Kimberley, your minimum temperature is 2 degrees, reaching a maximum of 22. Now, Bloemfontein starts the morning off on a very chilly note at -5, reaching a high of 22. Richards Bay, your low is 10 degrees and your high is 25. Now, Pietermaritzburg will be quite warm with an afternoon temperature of 26 degrees and a minimum of 8 degrees. Now, Durban remains cool at a low of 10, reaching a high of 25. Warm and pleasant temperatures in the Eastern Cape namhlanje. Siqale eMthatha at a low of 4, reaching a high of 26. Emonti, 24 is your maximum, but starts off the day at 8. And Cradock, 25 maximum, but starts off the morning at 0. And the friendly city, Port Elizabeth, 6 is your low, reaching a high of 21 namhlanje. Some partly cloudy conditions in George at a low of 9, reaching a high of 19. Moving into the Western Cape, Kapa, 12.24 are your temperatures. Worcester, 10.24 are your temperatures for namhlanje. And Sutherland starts off at 0, reaching a high of 20. And last, definitely not least, Uppington with a maximum of 26 and a low of 3 degrees. Now, do remember that whichever part of the country you're in, whatever the weather, make sure to have yourselves a feel-good kind of day.
It's Monday and we're talking all about relationships on the show today. If you, like me, that never SMS that keyword love to 33728, don't worry, because we have a relationship expert here to make sure that she's answering all your questions.
Yes, Aisha Dulab's going to be joining us on a video call, so you are invited to get in touch with us. Give us a call, we'll answer your questions, or she will be answering your questions live right here on the show. 021 110 5552, that's the number to call. But of course, you can still drop your comments and questions as well on our Facebook. Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. We'll see you after this. So what questions do you have?
I have a lot.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast show, Expresso on SABC3. It's a Monday morning. Thanks so much for joining us at the start of a brand new day. Now, with the added pressure and anxiety that the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic has brought about, couples have either been using the time to strengthen their bonds and support systems, while others have experienced that the cracks in their relationships and their foundations are getting even bigger as a result.
So today we're asking, is the lockdown and pandemic straining your relationship? This morning we're joined by a video call by therapist, speaker and trainer Aisha Dulab to help us discuss this very important topic. And we love to hear your questions and comments as well. So do give us a call on 021-110-5552. A very good morning to you, Aisha Dulab. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning, and great to be back on the show.
So Aisha, let's kick it off by starting to talk about some of the unique elements of lockdown and this COVID-19 pandemic that we are going through, those elements that are really putting extra strain on relationships.
Absolutely. Well, we are, let's just face it, we all are in this pandemic, which I would say is the storm, but we all are in different boats within the storm. So while some couples are really embracing the togetherness and they are feeling complete relationship bliss, we have some couples that are in lockdown in their relationships, and others are actually considering a breakup and divorce. And the unique element is that we all are experiencing this free-floating anxiety that is inherent within us. And now with the pandemic, it's actually amplified because we have so many other stresses to deal with. It's working from home, it's managing kids, it's managing homeschooling, and the biggest one of all, it's the financial stress. Of course, we are all worried about our health, our immune systems. There's fear of morbidity, and most of us are also going through a process of grief in this time. I mean, not only grieving possibly the loss of loved ones, but also grieving our freedom, grieving the loss of some connections, grieving our possible future dreams that we had. And most of us are also out of our routines at this time. I feel that most of us are out of our sleep routines, our eating patterns. We're not connecting as much with nature, and all of these things just put us out of sync with our natural rhythm. And these are the unique characteristics that are really hitting us hard now, particularly now with the pandemic.
I think everyone, particularly during this time, is kind of going through some emotional labor of some sort as an individual. And I can imagine what a relationship now, can go through because of, the strain of the pandemic or even lockdown. However, on the other hand, some people actually report that living in lockdown during this time has made them realize that they are with the right person, the right time and everything. What factors can bring people closer during this time?
It's such a beautiful time for connectedness. I think that you are quite right that people have regained their lovingness and connectedness with their partners because there's a much more greater appreciation. And I think couples are now firstly eating together, they are cooking together, they are spending much more time together and really appreciating each other. I think now it's definitely a time of appreciating one's unique differences and accepting partners for who they are. Families are actually spending more time together as well. So there's definitely much more togetherness. And I think that there's a greater level of compassion that has been developed and empathy. A lot of consideration for our partners in this time as well. So we can laugh together. That's quite nice to do in this time, just to maintain a playfulness and a lightness of being. Sometimes we can become quite serious being faced with such a pandemic where we are fear-based. And in life, we can take a position of fear, we can take a position of love. And in this time where we are so stressed and experiencing this anxiety, how beautiful is it just to connect with our loved ones and regain this intensity of togetherness.
Now, of course, with that being said, Aisha, some people have also ended their relationships during this time, saying it's not necessarily because of lockdown, but rather that lockdown has removed all of those distractions and allowed for a proper analysis of their relationship. And what are your thoughts on this?
Well, quite often we're quite distracted by our daily routines, and now with the lockdown, being able to just reassess where we are. I think many people are asking some more existential questions, such as, what do I really want? Who am I? What gives me the joy? Am I happy? And I think that there's quite a lot of growth in that. If we are making a decision that's out of maturity and out of awareness, I think it's something that is good. After all, we all really want to be happy. How beautiful is it just to experience complete happiness in life? And sometimes that means that we have to make some tough decisions. And with tough decisions come with pain and a breakup. But there's always growth in the struggles that we endure in life.
That's true. Aisha, please do not go anywhere, because we will continue with the second part of our conversation a little later on. But what we want to know from you at home is the lockdown and pandemic straining your relationship? Share your questions and comments for our therapist, speaker and trainer, Aisha Dulab. So head on over to our Facebook page, drop a comment on this post, and we will engage with you, or give us a call on 021 110 552. 5552.
Make sure you got the connection there.
Well, the Feel Good continues right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Now, small acts of kindness can make an enormous impact on another's life, especially in the midst of the pandemic that we currently find ourselves in. Now, Rather Inspire is a campaign that encourages the citizens of South Africa to improve their communities through sharing what we have. Now, we're joined by Rather Director Jackie Gilbert this morning. Good morning, Jackie. Thank you so much for taking the time to answer all our questions with regards to your amazing initiative.
Morning. Good to be here. Thank you.
What exactly is RADA Inspire? And, take us through the journey. How did this all come about for you guys?
Well, RADA stands for Rape, Alcohol, Drug Abuse. And it's a non-profit organisation committed to the eradication of society's probably the most gravest and difficult and pressing ills, basically. And it's just about caring for people in different ways, and creating that awareness and that empathy and compassion.
This is such fantastic work you're doing, Jackie, but we know that, the COVID-19 pandemic has resulted in a large increase in number of people who seek shelter and refuge. In what ways can we make a difference?
We named our month Comfort Month in terms of bringing some joy to people that are, where there are children heading families and things like that, and just also supplying where people don't have proper shelter, just to give them a blanket, a warm meal, a communication, just to know that there's somebody there, and just to have the empathy for people in that position. And I think it just makes a big difference in terms of offering something, however small it might be, and not only in products, it can be purely in communication, in talking to people and offering from that perspective.
True story, because people often think that, being of service is only valuable if it comes in the form of money. But how do we then debunk this myth?
It's about sharing time with people, perhaps reading a book to somebody, or to have a communication that would uplift them in some way and have some positivity. It's a very depressing sort of time, and to give people hope in terms of having a future and how things can change and the opportunities that can come about through that. And just in kindness, to offer kindness to people. So it's not always about things.
Yeah.
Or money. I mean, we do obviously always appreciate sponsors and the brilliant sponsors we do have. We're very grateful for, but it is also in simple ways.
Most times people do just need an ear, you know what I mean? Jackie, that is fantastic, but what things can people start doing today to assist in making a change in someone's life?
Well, every person, starting right now, you could offer, the giving of blankets or something, for example, or to give, as I say, a communication, to offer support in any way whatsoever. It is, and especially with people in a lot of fear right now, to offer understanding that of precisely what's taking place and how they can be supported, protected, and how they can work with others. And so it's about just helping those in need and bringing that comfort when everything's basically fallen apart and they're just needing someone.
Now, in 2019 alone, you were able to provide almost 500,000 meals to those in need. You have now also embarked on a blanket drive, collecting and distributing blankets to those less fortunate. But we want to know, how did you guys spend Mandela Day this past Saturday?
Well, every day for Rada is Mandela Day. This is what we do. This is how we work. It's every day working with something and creating betterment, upliftment for people. We've got, as I said, incredible sponsors that supply food and vehicles and blankets, particularly at the moment, and so it's supplying all of these things to orphanages and in children in homes where they're by themselves, for example. So we distribute wherever we can and just do whatever we can generally. So that would encompass Mandela Day all the time. We just feel to make a difference.
I love it. Jackie, Gilbert, such fantastic work you are doing at RADA. But of course, this campaign and this initiative you're running at the moment, RADA Inspire, really does come across in the most beautiful way. It's about giving people hope who otherwise might have it lost. And we do appreciate you for that. Thank you so much for making the time this morning.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me there. And I'd just like to say you can get in touch with us on with various details that be offered by yourselves. Thank you so much.
And those details will be on your screen right now.
Absolutely. Here's the thing. The fact that we are able to watch this from the comfort of our own warm homes is truly a blessing. Let us keep our hearts and hands stretched out in compassion towards others who may not be as fortunate as we are.
Two, yeah.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on SABC3. Of course, Mondays mean that we talk all things relationships, and 2020 has given us all sorts of flames when it comes to relationships. Of course, sadly, with regards to celebrities around the world, we've also had the deaths, the untimely deaths of the likes of Kobe Bryant and, of course, Naya Rivera that we reported on last week as well. But there's been a lot that's been happening in terms of the unions of A-list celebrities out there that 2020 has just kind of looked upon with shame and just trashed.
I say, it's only, fitting that we look into some Hollywood relationships or celebrities that are currently going through some divorces, unfortunate divorces, that is, because of, the pressures of lockdown or the pressures of the pandemic at large.
I mean, we can note quite a few of them. If you think to the Hollywood divorce that seemed to rock the world, and it seems like it wasn't too long ago that this happened. Remember that marriage. It was Julian Huff and National Hockey League star Brooks Lake. Remember that? The adorable couple had previously admitted hitting a speed bump, and when Julian opened up to Brooks about her true sexual identity, which she has asserted as not straight, and obviously that led to them getting that divorce. But I think sometimes this speaks to the fact that sometimes when you discover that incompatibility in that regard, I mean, this is obviously a bit of a rare case, but it certainly does seem to happen a lot in marriages, that it can lead to a relationship breakdown. lockdown, as we've seen, and it's sad.
And it seemed as though they were possibly working through their struggles, maybe managing it. But finally, when lockdown set in, it was apparent that the couple wasn't on the same page when they shared that they were quarantining apart from each other at the start of the pandemic. And they announced their breakup at the end of May.
Oh, wow.
And that's the end of that love story, very unfortunately so.
Wow, now a start of another end of a love story.
The start of the end?
Yes.
Okay.
Of the story that I'm about to share with you guys. So, remember child star turned fashion mogul, Mary-Kate Olsen?
Yes, of course.
So she's also divorcing her husband of almost 5 years, French banker Olivier Sarkozy. Olivier Sarkozy.
Is that him there over there?
That's definitely him over there. He looks like a bank. Okay, he is a French banker after all, because he was worried about the safety of his ex-wife Charlotte Bernard and their children during COVID-19. He moved them into their New York apartment, which proved to be too much for Mary-Kate to handle. But why?
So fearing for the safety of his ex-wife
and their children together,
he moved them to a New York apartment.
Their apartment.
Okay.
As the
to
couple.
come live with them.
To come live with Mary-Kate.
No, I don't think he came to live with them, with Mary-Kate in the apartment, but I think that they own an apartment in New York.
Okay. Yes.
So they've moved the family and the ex-wife into that apartment for their own safety.
So what's the challenge?
So the challenge is like, how do you give access to your ex-wife into our space?
Must she die?
And also, why do... No, that's what I'm saying, that why is she
That's extreme.
turning up? Exactly.
Well, no, I'm not saying it's extreme on her part to say she's calling it, but perhaps she couldn't handle that he cared so much,
I suppose,
about his ex-wife and children. You know, that could have been a tad too far for her to go. Like, I'm understanding that there's still a contact between you and your children and thusly your ex-wife, but now you're showing a little bit too much heart.
I mean, I suppose there is always a backstory to this sort of thing. You might find that there is a history of that care sometimes being overstepped in some instances, and maybe this was really the tipping point. But it does happen. Of course, Sarkozy ordered for her to share this home, right? And this has really just broken this relationship apart. Man. Why does quarantine put extra pressure on relationships? That's the question. It seems it has. Share your thoughts with us on our social media pages, and of course we will continue our discussion with the therapist Aisha Dulab shortly. Wekatlejo and Gwihle will be chatting to her. Of course, you can give us a call 021 110 552.
Hey!
Special indeed. Now, before we get cooking, Willie's obviously teamed up with Woolworths for the Gift of the Givers campaign, which aims at distributing 1 million food care packs to families in need, of course. And each bag is filled with a balance of all the essentials. It's protein, fresh fruits, veg, and other staples, as well as hygiene products to help curb the spread of COVID-19. And we have under 300,000 meals left before we reach that 1 million meal goal. And of course, as little as 10 Rand. That is it, guys, 10 Rand. And that can provide one person with 3 meals for an entire day. And all you got to do, of course, is just scan the QR code on your screen using the SnapScan app or your banking app, and that can contribute towards filling that bag. And together, of course, guys, we can, as you have seen in the show, make one incredible difference. Indeed. Now, of course, not all heroes, otherwise known as heroes in Greek, wear capes, and some come dressed in a garlic flatbread topped with feta and mint, infused yogurt, and then finished with pickled peppers charred over the fire. I've never heard a superhero smell that delicious. And of course, Chef Clem's Genius recipe is perfect for any day of the week. With an international travel cancelled, this is the best way to get those taste buds all the way to the international lands of Greece. Chef Clem, are you ready to take me away?
Let's do this. Okay.
And hopefully not just Club Mykonos. I want the real thing.
No. No, this is real. But it's so funny because people pronounce it in the weirdest ways, a gyro, a gyro.
I literally, before I even came into the show and reading this, I was like, why are we making gyros or gyros?
Like, Gyro.
Yeah.
Gyro. But I pronounce it hero. That's how I've always known it. So what it is basically is just a beautiful collection of like peppers, tomatoes, chicken, some rocket. It's delicious with a bit of that yogurt on top, all wrapped in. Here's where I'm taking you from Greece all the way to India. It's wrapped in garlic naan.
Oh, snap.
Because garlic naan is not just for one type of cuisine. Garlic naan is for your life. It is like, there's name one time that the garlic naan is not appropriate. Don't say ice cream. Don't say ice cream because we'll
I
try.
don't know. Oh, you stop me, man. And of course, I'm not going to complain on the claim. You take me to India and Greece in one day. Bring it, man. I'm the Mr. International.
Okay. So the preparation starts with your pepper, okay? We're going to blister this. Now, this is why I love this recipe, because you can do it over the coals. You can do it like over stovetop. It's amazing.
You just put that thing straight on the stove. Are you joking with me right now?
People are scared of cooking like on open flame. But all I'm saying is just give it a little prick, because in case it does pop, like it builds up pressure. But that's never really happened. You just chuck it there.
What? Is that okay? Just by the way.
100% okay. It's really fine. Also, the thing is, okay, so the outside of the skin's going to start blistering.
Yes.
The inside is going to go super soft and steamy. It's going to start getting so soft. This is perfectly fine, I promise you.
Clem, I can't even like pay attention to you. I'm just waiting for this thing to set a light. Are you sure this is PC?
I'm a professional. We've got a fire extinguisher. Wait, our fire extinguisher's not here.
Graham, keep that fire extinguisher on standby, brother. We might need that.
The fire extinguisher is here. It is here. Okay. So after a while, the pepper's going to be beautiful. It's going to literally look like this.
Okay.
Which is exactly what you want. So all you got to do is keep an eye on it, just turning it every now and then.
So for once, burning food almost is okay by the looks of it.
It's more than okay.
Yes, finally, my specialty.
It's required. You can see the flesh goes beautifully soft. You just tear the flesh off, and then all you got to do is just get your knife, and you're going to just run your knife through it. Keep a bit of that charred bits, but rub most of it off. The bit of that charred bits is good because you're going to get that smoky flavor. You want it. You've worked hard to develop that flavor, so don't get rid of all of it. Just chop this up and pop it to the side.
It's pretty cool. I noticed how it actually literally just slides off. I mean, we went from that black.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It is alive again.
It is. I've got some sliced onion. Now, sliced onion is pretty potent because, I mean, it gives you like onion breath, basically. But I like the fact that when you add the vinegar, you add the peppers, it kind of mellows out the flavors of the onions. So it's not that pungent in your face.
Sorry, I'm just still blown away.
You're still watching the peppers.
It's actually working. Guys, I don't know if you've seen this, but Chef Clem's little hack is actually working. Of course, you want some more hacks, you want some more inspiration, head over to expressoshow.com where you've got everything that you need to create the gyro of its own kind. And we're out here in Greece doing the things. We are about to, what are we up to next?
Okay.
Seasoning the peppers.
Yeah. Some red wine vinegar went in, some oregano's going in, a little bit of salt going in, garlic, a little bit of sugar to balance out that acidity from the vinegar. Salt and pepper, one time. Boom,
going now. This is giving me like a fresh salad smell.
It is.
It's like
good luck.
Oh,
sorry, sorry, anybody behind. It's balance. It's all about the balance and balancing flavors. The great thing is you prep this, right? The longer it sits in that marinade, the better. Like weeks.
Soak it all up.
Soak it all up. Get it so intense a flavor. Okay, so move that to the side. You can take your beautiful naan, right? We're gonna boil this guy now. It's so simple. That's why I say when load shedding comes, we are more than ready. All I want to do is just pop this over to a little bit of heat. I also like. You're gonna be surprised now, but this done directly over.
No, he didn't.
Just to warm it up and make it soft. It's all about that braai here. So if you can bring the fire somehow, just do it. Just by doing this, you just kind of soften your garlic naan, which is great. So we're gonna fold everything together.
Okay, I got you. And by the looks of this, you actually literally just need some sort of an open flame to make this meal.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not baking, we're not cooking much. No, it's all kind of fresh, right?
Absolutely, and everything can be done ahead of time. Like I said, I'm just popping the garlic naan over the flame just to soften it slightly, but it's not important. You don't have to do that. So what I do is I would normally mix my yogurt and my garlic to make this beautiful yogurt mint dressing, but I'm actually just going to layer everything now.
Okay.
Just to give you, just to be different. And I'm using a plain yogurt. You don't want to use any other flavored yogurt because you want the plain tanginess of that yogurt to come through.
Okay.
So pop that to the side there.
All right, step one, I'm with you.
Feta. You can also do the yogurt dressing at the top, which we want to garnish it. I'm going to do it at the bottom just to kind of switch things up. A little bit of garlic going on there. Mix that all through. That's going to be delicious. Mint and feta. It's the coolness of the mint with the saltiness of the feta. It just works so well. We're going to hit it with a little bit of our chicken, which we've done. We just shredded this chicken off of
It's weird how I don't know what it is about mint. I'm assuming it's probably something to do with toothpaste, but it makes me feel clean. Even when I'm eating the dirtiest things, when you throw some mint with it, you just feel fresh, you feel clean, you feel like you've brushed your teeth after a meal, you know what I mean? Ready for that nap after.
I'm gonna honestly make a compilation of all the statements you've made in this kitchen.
It's legendary, man.
Okay, all right, guys, talk about clean eating. The Nature Boys just said the cleanest thing you can eat is mint.
Indeed.
Go for it. I love
fresh
it.
breath straight after your meal. Guys, Chef Clem and I are going to be coming with a book soon. Watch this space. But for now, head over to expressoshow.com, of course, for that inspiration.
All right, top it with some beautiful, fresh, peppery rocket. All the flavors, it's very simple, like flavors we've actually put together, but they are complex, they're intense, they're bold and beautiful flavors. Now, here's the thing. Now, normally I would create the sandwich like in the middle part and fold everything over. I want to make life a little difficult for you. So what I've done is I've just put it on the long. You pick it up like this. And here's the thing. Sometimes in life, you shouldn't adjust the things around you to please yourself. Sometimes all it takes is for you to adjust yourself, and then things work out perfectly. So never, never, never tilt the sandwich to suit your face. You suit your face.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna take some tips here from Kim. So as you can see, guys, once you've finished your incredible Gyro Greek infused chicken mint yogurt dressing, yes?
Whatever you want to call it.
Work your angles, people.
Come around.
Come at it. Enjoy the rest, guys.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to this Monday morning on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, where we're talking all things relationships with therapist, speaker and trainer Aisha Dulab, who's joining us via video call to help us discuss why there's an increased rate of divorces and breakups during the COVID-19 pandemic. And it's been quite insightful to understand the different strains on relationships. And I remember Aisha also referring to the kind of inherent anxiety that we all have that has now just been magnified as a result of the fact of all of this uncertainty going on around. Aisha, thanks so much for staying with us. We want to start off by taking on some of the commentary that we've received on social media. This from our Facebook page. Mpo Pretty Makafola says, when asking the question about how the lockdown and the pandemic has affected your relationship, says, mine with my partner didn't go well. We broke because we were already in a long-distance relationship, but we are trying to fix things now. But my relationship with my family is getting stronger and stronger. I also got to see my son grow up because due to work, I was not at home.
I love that.
What do you make of that, Aisha? Do you think that necessarily that people in long-distance relationships will kind of feel the true strain of what it means to have their relationship kind of halted, if you will, by this lockdown?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, life is all about relationships. And, you know, with relationships, it's emotionally loaded. So I think that most of us are feeling so challenged by all the stresses. So now all of a sudden we are in the space where we are now experiencing a breakup, and we need to be really be courageous and accept the vulnerability that goes with that. You know, this is a time where our masks need to come off, and we really need to get to know who we are in this process. A relationship is also about getting to know yourself. And in the space of relationship poverty, I think that most of us have been suffering from relationship poverty for so long. The lockdown has now all of a sudden given us the opportunity to reconnect. And how beautiful it is now that we are experiencing this true relationships with other family members, with our children. There's been so many people reporting far more stronger connection with the other family members as well as their kids. And of course, breakups are challenging. It's as I say, it comes with a lot of emotion. So we have to be very kind with ourselves. Be compassionate to your partner. Be compassionate to yourself. And allow for respect and allow for physical space as well. We already are experiencing the physical distance, but when I speak about space, also about the distance, allows distance in time alone for your partner, just to introspect where they are at, because as I say, there is so much happening at the same time. Remember, we're also in this flight or fight response due to the survival mode that we are all experiencing at the moment. So we are on like high alert, we're hyper vigilant, and what previously irritated us is now all of a sudden amplified. The irritations are now becoming so much bigger.
Another question or a comment that came through from Buyeza, saying nothing much than communicating via WhatsApp and Facebook, and sometimes I do video calls just to see my baby. So people are finding ways to strengthen their relationships, but indeed some people and some couples out there have realized that they have grown apart and that it's time to break up, but they're also otherwise compelled to still live together because of the circumstances surrounding this pandemic. How can a couple successfully cohabitate while breaking up, which must be an incredibly difficult scenario to be in?
Absolutely. This is a tricky scenario. So definitely maintaining respect for each other, trying to communicate very clearly what your expectations are in this cohabitation agreement. And also just, again, allowing for that space for that person, their physical space as well as their emotional space. Also just practicing moments where you speak about the good times, offer gratitude for each other in the space that you are in, despite the emotionally loaded feelings that are currently in the household. But offer words such as, I am sorry, I do care, I love you. Despite a breakup, I think couples do have this heightened level of care for their partners. Some people also feel quite guilty that they've broken up with their partner during this very stressful time. So speak about those feelings of guilt, those feelings of possible the shame that goes with it. And of course, speak about your fears. I think fears are ripe at the moment. We are so fearful of so many things. People don't want to be alone. They fear rejection. They fear abandonment. And of course, in this time of uncertainty, we don't even know what's to come the next day. So, where am I going to be living in the next month? What will the outcome be? In the space of uncertainty, we struggle. We like things. We like to know exactly how things are going to play out. And with a breakup, we never know, both emotionally and physically, what's going to happen. So it's quite a scary process, and we need to just be kind to ourselves within this process.
Aisha Dulab, thank you so much for joining us this morning on shedding light on the importance of communication during relationships, of being empathetic and what's the other English word? Sympathetic.
There we go.
With your partners during this very difficult times. We know that we are going through emotional labor as individuals, but we also need to be considerate of the person that we are currently living with or we are in, a relationship with, regardless of the distance or of the lockdown or of the pandemic. I hope that you have yourself a fantastic morning further, Aisha.
Thank you very much.
Well, perhaps if you're looking at something to do to help you rebuild an otherwise broken down connection, you could start baking together. Baking is a science and it's a difficult challenge to take on. And together, perhaps you might make something delicious that could rekindle your love.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA. Made with love by Clover.
Well, you are right, Kat. Sometimes food is what it takes to connect people, and I am the person to go to when it comes to that sort of connection and rekindling. And of course, if you are looking for a quick and easy pad to perk up a Blue Monday, well, we've got you sorted. We've got a cozy, comforting, and delicious recipe that you could and you should be enjoying to brighten up any gloomy day. It's our Clover Fresh Milk microwave cake. Now, you can imagine, for someone like me, when I heard this, you can make in a microwave, I'm like, you got my full attention. Couldn't have chosen a better person to make this recipe with. And of course, as a request from you, our viewers, we hope that this recipe inspires you to whip up something delicious at just about 4 to 5 minutes to, load shedding. It also saves energy, as well as, obviously, we are doing our bit to use electricity sparingly. So that makes so much sense. But wow, Nicole, this is a smart hack by a smart
Girl.
There we go.
I know.
There we go. There we go. Okay, so this is so interesting. A cake in a microwave. You can make that.
Right. Yes,
Wow.
you can. So we actually got taught this specific recipe from our consumers teacher back in grade 10. So like if a 16-year-old Nicole could make it, so can you.
Surely. Okay, so I mean, the ingredients also seem very uncomplicated. You've got very few of them.
Very few. So you've got your dry ingredients. We've got a cup of flour. We're going to add some sugar to that for sweetness.
Yes.
And you're going to add a little bit of salt. Always add salt to your baking.
Okay, we don't want to leave anyone behind. So if you do want to get this recipe, which obviously you are going to want to get this recipe, please do go on our website. It's www.expressoshow.com, and you'll see all of the ingredients we're using and exactly how to use your microwave to make this. Wow. Okay, so salt's gone in there. Cocoa as well.
Yeah, when I made it, I found there was like too little cocoa for my liking. So if you do want to add more cocoa, go for it. I wouldn't do more than a quarter cup, guys. So just do about, this is a tablespoon.
Okay.
Then you're going to add some baking powder. So that's going to be a rising agent in the microwave.
Love it.
Then you're going to do your wet ingredients. So we've got 1 egg, a little bit of vanilla, always lovely in baking.
Vanilla essence, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, once with your fat, this adds with the moisture to your cake. That's what makes your cake super moist and dense.
So that would be cooking oil?
Yes.
Okay,
We've got normal canola oil over there.
Okay, cool.
Then we're going to add a cup of our clover milk. We've got a full cream. Here's my cup measure. I tried these so perfectly just before the show. I was like, where are they? We've got a cup going in.
Yeah.
I'm using the full cream milk today.
Yeah.
You can obviously use the medium cream or low fat or fat free. It's up to you.
I like to remind you of this fact and check if you pay attention. What do you think about when you hear me say the number 55? And it's got to do with clover milk. Clover
I'm
fresh
guessing
milk.
55, I could feel like that's... That's
Quality.
a big high number, right?
Yes,
Like,
it's 55 quality checks. Each liter of clover milk undergoes 55 quality checks.
that is
super insane.
impressive.
It is absolutely incredible. But of course, that's what you're putting in there. You've put a cup of that.
A cup.
Okay.
Yeah. So now what you do is you mix all your dry ingredients. So I always advise to mix your dry ingredients well before adding your wet, mainly because you don't want to overmix your cake.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Got you.
So this is where you would either get your one partner to do it and you do it, do the mixing of this. So this is communal baking. This is how you get things together. Like they said, it can be trouble times. I think cooking is such a special thing to do together as well.
It is. And it's also just about, it just maybe breaks the ice, opens up those channels of communication.
Yes.
Where maybe someone was sulking and they were a bit upset. You can say, okay, cool, would you like to please hand me the milk? And they say, okay, cool, darling, please hand me the cocoa.
Yes.
Okay, sweet, would you like to mix that? And then you get into a flow. And then when you eat the cake, then you unpack all the issues.
Oh, no. I think you should do it after you've eaten the cake, because eating cake should be a happy, joyful experience.
Yes, but it will bring the joy when you're eating it, and then you approach your issues from a place of joy.
Yes, that is true. That is true. So what you do is you mix this all together. You don't want to overmix any cake batter, because you're going to land up with a volcano.
Okay.
Chocolate goes in. Just fold that through. Dark chocolate, you could use milk chocolate, white chocolate, whatever you have in the cupboard. Then microwave safe container. You pick whatever shape you want. We've done a dome shape here. This was a bowl. We're going to do a rectangle. Exactly. You're going to grease it. Make sure that you spray it or line it with a little bit of butter or margarine, just to make sure that your cake doesn't stick after it's baked. Then just spread it out evenly. And then you're going to pop it in your microwave. So just like everybody's oven is different, so is everyone's microwave. Because some people's, it's like different watts.
Yes.
So higher watts is going to cook on a high temperature, and you must just watch your cake.
Okay, what should you be doing? What is the sort of watts we're looking at here?
Well, I would do like a 800 watts.
Okay,
but
about the
if
average,
if
the
you
normal.
can choose.
Oh, okay, if you can choose, of course.
But some microwaves have the turny knobbies where you choose like medium heat, high heat.
Yeah.
Go for medium.
You have to pay attention. You have to make sure that you're paying attention and you're watching what you're doing. But we did say 4 to 5 minutes. Nicole over there is doing 4.5 minutes. And this is what it looks like when it's all done. I mean, if you're not doing this as a couple, maybe you are doing it on your own, to say sorry for something or to try, you know what I mean?
Yes.
You make this and you say, Nicole Mescat.
It's such a good
Pretend
apology.
you haven't seen this cake. I just want to see your reaction, okay? So I'm coming in the lounge, you're just like, you know that Tabiso, and I say,
yes.
Nicole Mescat.
Oh my gosh, Tabiso, you baked. I can't believe you baked. I'm so proud of you.
And I wanted to just say, I'm sorry for everything.
Sorry for always pulling me under the bus, eh?
Yeah. But we're going to eat the cake. Are we happy again now?
We're happy again. Everything's going to be fine.
Okay, sweet. I love you.
I love you too.
Oh. Well, there you go. Go onto our website, www.expressoshow.com, and be inspired by this absolutely delicious recipe of our microwave cake that we've made, brought to life by our Clover Full Cream Fresh Milk. But time now to get more enrichment coming in the form of a performance. It's going to be seeing Jared Ricketts is still in the house. That's still coming up. But if you missed any of the steps involved in making this, take a look at that.
Made with love by Clover.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA. Made with love by Clover.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Where is the show gone? It's flown past, but it does, I suppose, allow us to reach the crescendo of this amazing Monday morning. Jared Ricketts is going to be performing again, and we put it to you guys to choose between the 3 songs that we put up on our poll for our Gospel Monday, and the people have spoken, and with resounding success. Of course, Glory was absolutely beautiful, so thank you so much for that one. And it seems that we have another out-and-out winner this morning because of Who You Are, which I know you absolutely love performing as well. The sound check has been mind-blowing, so I can't wait for that. But a big congrats and a thank you to Aidan Riberts, Candice Campbell, Deborah Bending, Rosalind Fletcher, Ronelle Davids, all weighing in on our poll this morning to choose because of Who You Are. So, gents, are you ready to take us to church, take us to another level? It might feel like a Monday morning, but we're going to beat back those Monday blues with another gorgeous performance. Mr. Jared Ricketts, the floor is yours.
Give you glory because of who you are. I give you praise. Because of who you are, I will lift my voice and say, Lord, I worship you because of who you are. Because of who you are, I give you glory. Because of who you are, I give you praise. Because of who you are, I will lift my voice and say, Lord, I worship you because of who you are. Lord, I worship you because of who you are. Jehovah Jireh, my provider. Jehovah Nissi, Lord, you reign in victory. Jehovah Shalom, my Prince of Peace, and I worship you because of who you are. Because of who you are, I give you glory. Oh, because of who you are, I give you praise. Because of who you are, I will lift my voice and say, Lord, I worship you because of who you are. Lord, I worship you because of who you are. Oh, Jehovah Jireh, my provider. Jehovah Nissi, Lord, you reign in victory. Jehovah Shalom, my Prince of Peace, and I worship you because of who you are. Lord, I worship you because of who you are. Lord, I worship you because of who you
Okay, thank you very, very much. Wonderful music, certainly uplifting of our spirits. Hey, and speaking of musical guests, make sure that you tune in tomorrow because we have an opportunity to catch up with the one and only Katie Melua on our Feel Good Breakfast show. Oh my goodness, she's got a brand new song out that is absolutely beautiful. Check it out. In the meantime, we'll be chatting about that and more tomorrow. Fitness tomorrow. Who do we got tomorrow?
I think Mfini Fit. It's going to be a fun one. Took me through the paces and I think everybody's going to love it. The burn is coming, guys. Get ready for it.
We got to go though. See you tomorrow bright and early. We love you. Make someone smile. Bye.
Expresso Show, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.